Chapter 43:39. With such strength, could it be that a Saint King had made a move? I don't know, but I guess it must be related to Wushuang City. Perhaps they've already started to take revenge. Exclamations and discussions could be heard. The other Saint cities were also shocked when they learned about it, especially the Myriad Sword Pavilion, Myriad Demon City, Great Desolation Mansion, and other Saint cities that had enmity with Wushuang City. After learning about the Acheron Palace's situation, they all tightened their defenses. They were afraid that they would be ambushed as well. In Quintessential World, it was extremely lively. The Primordial Grotto was a supreme existence with an extremely ancient inheritance. At this moment, the Primordial Grotto was holding a grand event that attracted countless saint lands and sects to participate. Among them, the saint cities of the second astral realm were invited as the most important guests to participate in this grand event. For a time, the territory where the Primordial Grotto was located was incomparably lively as countless geniuses and experts gathered in one place. At this moment, they also knew that a group of people had arrived. They were powerful existences from the distant starry sky path. Those saint cities were also known by everyone. Many of the saint cities' geniuses and experts had even made a move. This greatly surprised the people of Quintessential World. Moreover, some saint lands and saint cities had even started to join forces. Many of them were even related. Therefore, everyone gradually accepted these saint cities. Moreover, every saint city had a saint king overseeing it. They were currently the most terrifying existences. However, no matter how many geniuses and experts there were, they had to follow the rules if they wanted to enter the Primordial Grotto. Everyone had to present an invitation and congratulatory gifts. They could only enter after being searched. However, on this day, someone flew in forcefully. That figure descended in an unusually forceful manner. Countless people raised their heads to look, and discussions could be heard. Who was this? How could he not know the rules? Some people sneered. There were always people who thought that they were special and could stand above everything. But didn't he see where this was? This was the Primordial Grotto. The other saint lands and saint cities didn't dare to be presumptuous here. Was there someone who didn't know what was good for him? He must be tired of living. Indeed, he was too reckless. Discussions could be heard, especially when they saw that the person who descended was a young man. They all shook their heads and sighed. He was young and full of vigor, but he didn't know the difference between life and death. He would probably end up in a miserable state. But to everyone's surprise, the people of the ancient grotto didn't get angry. Some of the older generation members even walked out with smiles on their faces. He respectfully invited the young man in. The surrounding people were all stunned. Damn, what was the meaning of this? Who was this person? Could it be that he was an expert from some holy city? That shouldn't be the case. Recently, we've seen most of the geniuses in the saint city of the second astral realm, but there's no such person. Then who was he? Everyone was even more confused. At this moment, someone asked, "No way, you don't even know who he is?" He was Han Chong, a very famous top genius. Han Chong, it was actually him. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air after hearing this. They were no stranger to this name. This name was even more famous than the experts and geniuses in the saint city of the second astral realm. This was because the speed of their rise was extremely fast. In just 1 or 2 months, they had consecutively defeated the experts of the Holy Land. His strength was shocking. Moreover, his identity seemed to be very mysterious. Up until now, no one had been able to guess his identity. In addition, as soon as he appeared, the elders of the ancient grotto personally welcomed him. This showed that the other party's identity was definitely very terrifying. Next, the crowd discovered that besides Han Chong, a few other mysterious and unfamiliar youths had descended. They were also respectfully invited in. These people were also geniuses who had risen recently. Everyone was even more curious about their identities. Next, more experts from the Holy City and the Holy Land came one after another. The people of the ancient grotto all came out to welcome them. The surrounding people were incomparably shocked. Indeed, they were able to see peerless figures at such a grand event. Suddenly, the sky darkened. It was as if 6 phantoms had appeared in the surroundings. Then, an extremely terrifying aura surged over. At the same time, Many people in the ancient grotto had a change in expression. The elders and experts of the primordial grotto all stood up as well. They soared into the air and quickly flew outside. The surrounding people exclaimed. A peerless expert had come. Was it a holy king? Sounds of discussion could be heard. Everyone felt their scalps go numb when they felt the pressure. In the next moment, they saw a mysterious figure appear in the sky. He seemed to have become the only one, attracting countless gazes. Most people didn't know who he was. However, some people from the holy city had participated in the third stage of the Tao discussion. Thus, when they saw that figure, they were all greatly astonished. The reincarnation protector was actually him. He was an extremely terrifying and mysterious existence. Even holy kings had to be respectful when they saw him. They hadn't expected the ancient grotto to be able to invite such a person. As expected, the kings of the ancient grotto all came out and respectfully invited the reincarnation protector in. The surrounding people were discussing spiritedly. Who exactly was this person? As expected of the ancient grotto, it had actually attracted so many holy kings. Probably other than the ancient grotto, no one else could do so. Some people exclaimed. However, there were also people from the holy city who snorted coldly. These holy kings had probably come because they knew the reincarnation protector would come. At the end of the day, these holy kings wanted to befriend the reincarnation protector. They didn't care about the ancient grotto. Other than the holy kings, there were also some extremely powerful geniuses standing in front of them. As rising stars, they were qualified to stand there. Among them, there were a few figures that were unusually eye-catching. They were Hanchong and the others. Suddenly, another terrifying figure appeared. Many people turned their heads to look at it. Some people were stunned. Who was this person? He also had a terrifying aura. Was he also a young genius? They saw a 16 or 17-year-old youth standing there. He had delicate features, but the aura he exuded was overwhelming. He was even stronger than Hanchong and the others. Was there such a terrifying genius in the world? However, some people from the holy city sucked in a cold breath when they saw him. Peerless holy king. He had actually come here. Hadn't he been hunted down by the 3 holy kings and died? Those people were completely stunned. All of a sudden, news about peerless Saint King began to spread. When others heard it, they were also shocked. Chapter 43-40. Everyone knew about the battle between the Saint Kings in the eastern wilderness. They did not expect him to be the main character of the battle. He was chased by 3 Saint Kings, but he was still alive. But why did he dare to come here? Was he not afraid that the Silver Corpse Saint King would attack him again? Some people from the Saint City frowned. They knew that the Silver Corpse Saint King had a special relationship with the primordial grotto. If they fought here, the peerless Saint King would not be able to escape. However, some of the older people knew that they would not be able to fight here. After all, even if they did not respect the primordial grotto, they had to respect the reincarnation protector. Since the peerless Saint King had appeared, would the people from Peerless City come as well? At the mention of Peerless City, everyone remembered the 9 geniuses. Each of them was extremely powerful, especially Lin Xian. They looked up to him. How would he compare to Hanchong and the others? The Saint Kings at the front looked at the reincarnation protector respectfully. Saint King Yinling walked over and laughed loudly. Reincarnation protector, I did not expect you to come to the primordial grotto. Your presence brings light to the primordial grotto. Protector, please. He respectfully invited the reincarnation protector into the main hall. The surrounding Saint Kings also came up to greet him. The main hall was prepared for the top geniuses. Ordinary people could not enter. Those who could enter were all Saint Kings. Every Saint King would bring some outstanding disciples with him. For example, the Wuji Saint King from the Wuji sect brought Chao Tianch. The vast Sea Saint King was with Guan Songhai. The other Saint Kings from the Saint City also brought their top geniuses. They all sat down. The peerless Saint King also entered the main hall. As expected, the Saint Kings gave the reincarnation protector face. No one made things difficult for him. Even the primordial grotto did not make a move. The peerless Saint King sat down. Beside him were Linghu Chueshue and Fu Hongya. These 2 were also top geniuses. However, to everyone's surprise, they did not see Lin Xian. That kid did not come? On the other side, the people from the Acheron Hall stared at the peerless city. Their eyes were filled with killing intent. The silver corpse Saint King's face turned pale. He had returned. However, the first elder did not come. It seemed that he had gone back to oversee things. After all, they were afraid that the people of Peerless City would launch a sneak attack. The others also felt the biting cold killing intent, and their scalps went numb. Peerless Saint King sneered. He had also heard about the previous incident. That's great. That was all he could say. Let these people attack them again. Now they know the consequences, right? Furthermore, he swore that this was only the beginning. In the future, he would let these people know the consequences of chasing after him. At this moment, another person walked in. It was someone from the Demon City. The soaring sky Saint King took the lead, releasing a terrifying Saint Dao aura. Beside him were 9 Cheelants, and they were equally mighty and extraordinary. At this moment, the 9 Cheelants were much stronger than before. After he arrived, he brought with him a disdainful aura. His gaze quickly swept across the room, and he was slightly taken aback when he did not see Lin Xian. Skysoar Saint King said, Cheelant. The 9 Cheelants came back to their senses and walked forward. Senior Spirit Yin, this is a little respect from the Demon City. We hope that you will accept it. As he spoke, the 9 Cheelants took out a piece of divine crystal from his storage ring. The divine crystal was as big as a bowl, and there was something sealed in it. It seemed to be an old herb. For it to be sealed in the divine crystal, it must be an old herb passed down from the ancient times. It was priceless and unimaginable. Cheelan nephew, you're too kind. Spirit Yin laughed, and let someone take the gift. The primordial grotto had connections with the primordial tribe. The 9 Cheelants had the bloodline of the Cheelan tribe, so they naturally hoped to join forces with someone like him. The inside of the hall was extraordinary, and it was even more lively outside. Countless people were discussing amongst themselves. At this moment, countless figures were riding on clouds from afar, flying over at high speed. More people had arrived, and they seemed to be big figures. Countless people looked over. In the next moment, many people began to discuss because they realized that this group of people had arrived with great force. The guards below were also stunned. Were there some big figures? Should they inform the elders to welcome them? They hurriedly sent voice transmissions. Soon, an elder from the primordial grotto walked out and welcomed them with a smile. However, when they saw the sky, those elders stopped in their tracks and even frowned. The others also exclaimed. It was him, Lin Wudi. He really dared to come. Some people from the holy city immediately exclaimed when they saw this scene. The Acheron Hall was instantly filled with killing intent. The people from the great desolate mansion, the 10,000 Swords Pavilion, and the Thunder God City also had cold expressions. The elder of the primordial grotto snorted coldly. Kid, you're too arrogant. How dare you descend from the sky? Do you not take the primordial grotto seriously? Men, beat them up. With an order, the guards of the primordial grotto stood up and drew their long swords. They stabbed their swords into the sky, causing the sky to collapse and the earth to crack. Lin Xian stood in the void with his hands behind his back. He didn't make a move. Beside him, a figure walked out. Courting death, Peacock roared angrily and slapped out. A resplendent light suppressed the world and sent all the guards flying. This scene alarmed the surrounding people. He was too arrogant. Even Han Chong and the others wouldn't dare to make a move here. However, Lin Xian dared to make a move. Wasn't he afraid of angering the primordial grotto? The elders of the primordial grotto were also furious. Do you want to die? Suddenly, the 3 elders exuded an unparalleled aura. Lin Xian's gaze was cold as he looked down. Peacock snorted coldly. What? You dare to make a move? Are you trying to start a war with the temple? As soon as he said that, the people of the primordial grotto were stunned. What was going on? Wasn't the other party from the Peerless City? Why was he from the temple again? Their expressions became extremely ugly. Only the sage rulers knew about Lin Xian's true identity. The others didn't know at all. Therefore, they didn't know how Lin Xian was related to the temple. The surrounding people were really shocked. They didn't know about the temple, but they knew the name of the temple. the immortal temple. It was a more terrifying existence than an ordinary sacred land. It was the overlord of Zhongzhou. Now, it was standing behind Lin Xian. Some people from the sacred city frowned, while some of the older generation people's eyes flickered. Why did this person look so familiar? Yes, was Lin Wudi his name? Or was that his title? What was his original name? The elders of the primordial grotto said coldly, "Kid, I don't know how you got the temple to support you, but don't be too presumptuous. Stay here obediently." Lin Xian landed and looked ahead. He said coldly, "Who do you think you are? How dare you teach me a lesson?" Someone, slap him. Chapter 43-41. Buzz. As soon as he finished speaking, a figure stood out from behind Lin Xian. It was a tall man who looked like a god of war. He slapped out with his palm. "You're courting death." The elder from the primordial grotto was furious. The other party actually dared to slap him. What a joke. He roared and punched out with both fists, activating his terrifying bloodline power. However, he still couldn't block it. With one slap, his face was slapped hard, and he spat out blood and flew backward. Half of his face was smashed. The surrounding people were stunned. This was too domineering. The pupils of the people from the holy city constricted, and the powerhouses of the other holy lands also gasped. Where did this ruthless person come from? You. The elder who was slapped in the face got up, and his expression became extremely ugly. The other two elders were furious. "You're courting death." Lin Xian snorted coldly. "How dare you resist?" He continued to slap him. Immediately, Xing Tian attacked again. Xing Tian was originally in existence to protect Lin Xian. After the world changed, his strength naturally improved by leaps and bounds. At this moment, he had already reached the late stage of the holy venerable realm. He wasn't someone that these two elders could contend against. Sure enough, after Xing Tian slapped twice, the two elders spat out blood again and flew backward. Everyone was stunned. Lin Xian's cold voice sounded again. "Is there anyone else who dares to stop me?" Silence. No one spoke in the surroundings. Even the people from the primordial grotto were silent. What kind of joke was this? Even the three elders couldn't defeat such a powerful person, let alone the others. "Let's go." Lin Xian circled around. Then, he waved his hand and led his people away. Looking at the backs of these people, the others discussed animatedly. Where did these powerhouses come from? Some people exclaimed. The place they were going to was probably the primordial hall. That place could only be entered by holy kings. Did he want to go in? What a joke. Discussions broke out one after another. They felt that these people were too audacious. The eyes of those from the holy city also flickered. Others might not know, but they knew that this was Lin Xian. Moreover, there were other direct disciples of Wushuang City. If those people wanted to find Wushuang Saint King, they might be qualified to enter. The other people had also discovered the tomb, especially the three elders who had been slapped in the face. They were gnashing their teeth. Let this brat be arrogant then. When the time came and he offended the Sage King, he would definitely be slapped to death. Soon, Lin Xian and the others arrived in front of the primeval hall. Outside the immemorial palace, there were many sacred venerables acting as guards. The moment they saw Lin Xian arrive, they clashed with their swords and sabers. "Stop! Is this a place you can come to? Get out of here." These people were very strong. "I'll give you 3 seconds to take back your words, get out of the way, and apologize. If you do, I won't make a move." Lin Xian's cold voice rang out. "Just you?" Those Saint Venerables sneered. However, the powerful figures behind Lin Xian unleashed extremely terrifying auras. It was as if 100,000 mountains were pressing down on them. Instantly, a few Saint Venerables spat out blood. Their faces turned pale. They were so strong. Who were these people? And the scene here directly alarmed the people in the main hall. Following this, countless gazes were directed toward them. Sage King Yinling frowned. What was going on? Who dared to cause trouble in their territory? If they offended the reincarnation guardians, he would definitely make them suffer. However, he was soon stunned. The other Sage Kings were also stunned. Only Sage King Wushuang smiled. Lin Wudi, he was here too. He still dared to come? Many sage kings had strange expressions. On the other hand, the silver corpse holy king stood up abruptly, his eyes bursting with killing intent. The temperature of the entire place instantly dropped. Sage King Yinling was also filled with killing intent. After all, Lin Xian had killed many of their immemorial grotto's elites. How dare you block our way? Outside, Peacock roared. Xing Tian snorted and quickly got out of the way. His power suppressed the heavens and the earth. Similarly, Lu Yuan, Shangguan Shaoxian, and the others also exuded a terrifying aura. We are Sage King Wushuang's personal disciples. We have passed the third stage of the Tao discussion. How dare you block our way? As soon as Lin Xian said that, the guards gasped. Their expressions changed. They did not expect these people to be so strong. They kept their weapons and said, "Please." However, no one moved. Lin Xian looked at them and said coldly, "I said to get out of the way. Take back your words and apologize. Since you don't want to apologize, don't blame me for being rude." After he said that, a golden light appeared in his eyes. He used his soul pupil technique. Immediately, the guards held their heads and spat out blood. Their souls were severely injured in an instant. The surrounding people were all stunned. Oh my God! This kid dares to attack in front of those sage kings? The young geniuses in the hall sucked in a breath of cold air. As expected of Lin Wudi, he was indeed arrogant. Han Chong and the others also turned their heads. Their eyes flashed. This is interesting. They did not expect to meet such an arrogant person. However, he was too reckless. If he did not have a high status, he would not be able to survive. Let's go. Without waiting for the others to say anything, Lin Xian waved his hand and led his people into the primordial hall. After they entered, they were surrounded by a few terrifying gazes. Among them were Sage King Silver Corpse and Sage King Yinling. Everyone felt a chill run down their spines. They knew that Sage King Wushuang would not attack them easily. "Disciples, come over," Sage King Wushuang said calmly. Immediately, Lu Yuan, Shangguan Shaoxian, and the others came to stand behind Sage King Wushuang. However, Lin Xian did not move. He stood in the immemorial palace. The surrounding people were stunned. They did not know what this kid was trying to do. Lin Xian looked at Sage King Silver Corpse and sneered. "Why are you still here? Aren't you afraid that the Acheron Palace will be attacked again?" Sage King Silver Corpse felt as if he had been stabbed by Lin Xian's words. He almost went berserk. A terrifying aura spread out. At this moment, Sage King Wushuang said, "Why? Do you want to fight here?" Sage King Silver Corpse harumphed. He did not attack. Instead, he said, "Kid, just you wait. I will remember this. One day, I will catch you and tear you to pieces." "I'm afraid you won't have the chance." Lin Xian sneered and looked away from Sage King Wushuang. Then, he looked at Sage King Yinling. Sage King Yinling's face was cold. Before he could speak, he heard Lin Xian's words. Was this how the primordial grotto treated its guests? What a disappointment. Many people's faces changed when they heard Lin Xian's words. Sage King Yinling's face darkened as well. However, this time, they were in their territory. As the host, he could not get angry like Sage King Yinling. He said, "What do you mean by that? Did the immemorial grotto not treat you well?" "Of course, they did not treat you well. There is no place for me to sit in the immemorial palace. How dare you say that you treated me well?" Everyone was stunned when they heard Lin Xian's words, especially the younger disciples. They sucked in a breath of cold air. This guy still wants to sit? What a joke. Chapter 43-42. These elite sky prides could enter, but they could only stand behind the Sage King. The only ones who could sit were Han Chong and a few others. Apart from them, only the Sage King could sit. But now, Lin Xian made such a request. "Kid, who do you think you are? You think you can sit?" One of the sky prides from the immemorial grotto sneered. The people from the Thunder God City and Myriad Demon City also raised the corners of their mouths in disdain. "Looks like you don't know what's good for you." Wan Jinni also sneered. Lin Xian looked at the geniuses from the immemorial grotto and said, "If it wasn't for the reincarnation guardian, I can guarantee that all of you would be dead now." Then, he looked at Wan Jinni. What right does a defeated opponent like you have to mock me? Right now, I can crush you with just one hand. If you're not convinced, come and fight me. You. Damn it. The surrounding geniuses were so angry that they vomited blood. Wang Jiani was even angrier. Damn it. How despicable. Lin Xian was rubbing salt on his wound. I want to fight you. He stood up with a loud bang. However, Lin Xian said that he was not qualified and that he should go back. The Divine Ghost Sword King also frowned and retreated. Wang Jiani retreated unwillingly. The Divine Ghost Sword King looked at Unparalleled Sage King and frowned. Unparalleled, your disciple is too much. You can be arrogant, but you should look at the situation first. Disciple? Unparalleled Sage King laughed after hearing that. Who told you that he's my disciple? Everyone was stunned when they heard that. Could it be that Lin Xian was not even a personal disciple? Then where did he get the courage to be arrogant? However, in the next moment, they were stunned. Unparalleled Sage King said, "He's not my disciple, right, junior brother Lin?" As soon as these words came out, the surrounding people were stunned. Did they hear it wrong? Unparalleled Sage King called Lin Xian his junior brother? That was unbelievable. Could it be that Lin Xian was not his disciple? He was his junior brother. How was that possible? For a moment, everyone could not believe it. Even the genius disciples were dumbfounded. Lin Xian smiled. He was right. The unparalleled Saint King was indeed his senior. Hearing this, the others took a deep breath. It seemed that this was the case. Otherwise, the Saint King would not lie about this. No wonder the other party was so arrogant. It turned out that his identity was not ordinary. Soon, Fongling Holy King snorted coldly. Hiss, so what? Although your seniority has increased, your strength is still too weak. A mere middle-stage Holy Venerate is not qualified to be on equal footing with us. Not qualified? Are you sure? Lin Xian narrowed his eyes and sneered. At this moment, Peacock stood out and said coldly, Sage King Spirit Yin, I respect you as a senior. That was why he didn't say anything before. However, now that you dare to be rude to my temple master, I won't be polite even if you're a Saint King. Do you want to make an enemy out of Deity's Templar by challenging the Temple Lord? Since that's the case, I'll accompany you to the end. Humph. Xing Tian snorted coldly. The people behind Lin Xian also unleashed their terrifying laws. A terrifying aura spread out in all directions. The surrounding people were all stunned. Oh my God, what's going on? They were already shocked when Lin Xian became the junior of a Saint King. Now, Lin Xian became the Temple Master of Deity's Templar? This was unbelievable. Deity's Templar was not any weaker than Sacred City. Lin Xian was equivalent to a Saint King? What was going on? Who could give them an explanation? For a moment, the young geniuses were all stunned. Gu Feng snorted coldly, looking very unhappy, because he already knew about this beforehand. The other saint rulers were also dumbfounded. To be honest, they did not know either. Some of them knew that perhaps Lin Xian was related to Deity's Templar. However, they were shocked that Lin Xian was the Temple Master. Why, Sage King Spirit Yin, do you think that Deity's Templar is not qualified to be here? If that's the case, I'll leave immediately. However, from today onwards, we'll be enemies. We'll fight to the death, Lin Xian said coldly. The people from Primordial Grotto were all stunned. Sage King Spirit Yan's face also turned ugly. To be honest, they were not afraid of Deity's Templar because Primordial Grotto was also powerful. They even had many allies. However, if Lin Xian was determined to go against them, they would suffer heavy losses. He did not want such an outcome. Despicable brat, I'll let you be arrogant for a while. Sage King Spirit Yin thought to himself. So Lin Gongzi is the Temple Master of Deity's Templar. This is the first time I've heard of this. Please forgive me for not being a good host. Men, give Temple Master Lin a seat. Soon, someone started to move. They placed the seats at the entrance of the main hall. It was obvious that the seats were very far back. Even if they were seated, they would be inferior. However, Lin Xian did not go. Instead, he said, no need for such trouble. I'll just sit with my senior brother. As he said that, he walked over to Sage King Wushuang and sat down. What he wanted was not a seat, but an attitude. He wanted to announce to the world that he, Lin Xian, was not only a member of Wushuang City, but also the temple master of deities Templar. From now on, sage kings would not be able to look down on him. This was because his status was on par with sage kings. The atmosphere in the main hall was a little quiet. Everyone's expression was very strange. The two pieces of news were like a sudden clap of thunder. It was hard for them to accept. The people from Primordial Grotto also had ugly expressions. Lin Xian had given them a hard slap in the face, making them lose face. When the people outside the main hall heard this, they were even more shocked. There was such a thing? The people of the older generation exclaimed in shock. I finally know who he is. He's the Central Emperor. What? The Central Emperor? Isn't that a legendary existence? Some of the young geniuses in True Spirit World were also shocked. This name was not unfamiliar to them. However, it only existed in history. They had thought that it was still a legend. This was one of the 5 most dazzling geniuses in the past. Legend had it that he had left this place and gone to the Starry Sky Ancient Road. They had not expected him to return. In an instant, all kinds of legends about Lin Xian began to spread rapidly. In the main hall, the Reincarnation Protector was also shocked. This young man is actually the Temple Master? Beside the Reincarnation Protector sat Han Chong and the others. Their gazes also fell on Lin Xian. Interesting. This person was getting more and more interesting. The Central Emperor of the past was now the top genius of Wushuang City and the Temple Master. They wondered how strong he was. These people were very interested. Even if he was the Temple Master, so what? They did not take him seriously because their identities were even more terrifying. Therefore, a few of the young people looked at Lin Xian with a cold light in their eyes. Feeling this aura, Lin Xian naturally turned his head to look. In the next moment, their gazes met in the air and directly tore a large crack in the void. Chapter 43-43. Next, the banquet began. The young geniuses of the various holy cities began to exchange toasts. Many of them even went to greet the Reincarnation Guardian. Their respectful demeanor surprised everyone. It was the same for the Saint Kings. A sage king brought a bottle of wine to the Reincarnation Guardian. The Reincarnation Guardian raised his wineglass indifferently. He did not change his demeanor even though the other party was a sage king or a genius. It was as if he was really a high and mighty god that could look down on everything. Seeing this, Lin Xian was shocked. Who exactly was this Reincarnation Guardian? Why was everyone trying to please him? The Sage Kings also began to communicate with each other. However, no one came to Wushuang Sage King's side. It was as if Wushuang City was deliberately left out. Lin Xian could see that some of them wanted to come over, but they were blocked by the people from Acheron Hall and Primordial Grotto. Obviously, they did not want anyone to communicate with Wushuang City. Seeing this, Wushuang Sage King frowned slightly. The people from Wushuang City also gritted their teeth. It was too despicable. Were these people trying to hide the truth? Lin Xian snorted. Did they not know what was good for them? In the next moment, he knocked on his wine glass and looked forward. You. Yes, it's you. Come over and pour me a glass of wine. What did you say? The figure in front was instantly enraged. He was an expert from Primordial Grotto. His name was Shi Yunhu. His identity was not ordinary. He was the grandson of Sage King Yinling. So when he heard this, he was instantly enraged. Kid, what did you say? Are you deaf? I said to get you a glass of wine. Can't you understand? Lin Xian's cold voice rang out again. Damn it, kid. Do you know who I am? Shi Yunhu was instantly enraged. What a joke. He was the grandson of a sage king. His identity was extremely precious. Lin Xian laughed. Oh, who are you? I am the Temple Master. I am on the same level as a Sage King. Could it be that your identity is higher than Sage King Yinling? Damn it. Sage King Yinling is my grandfather. Who are you to compare? Lin Xian laughed. Why couldn't they compare? They were both palace masters. Since he's your grandfather, then I'm of the same generation as your grandfather. So I can be considered your elder. Good grandson. Pour a glass of wine for grandpa. Or don't blame me for punishing you. The moment he said that, the people from the Primordial Grotto were enraged. Damn it, kid. Do you want to die? What did you say? Say it again. Roars could be heard one after another as murderous aura surged around them. The others also had strange expressions on their faces. This guy was too daring. Lin Xian said, "What? Am I wrong? Despicable brat, come out. I'll kill you with my own hands." Shi Yunhu roared madly. Lin Xian said, "As an elder, there's no glory in winning against you." However, the upbringing of the primordial grotto wasn't very good. Didn't he even know how to respect his elders? Quickly, pour a cup of wine for your grandpa Wushuang. Lin Xian looked at Sage King Wushuang once again. The people from Wushuang City and Temple laughed. They finally couldn't hold it in anymore. The people from the other sacred cities were also stunned. "Kid, you're too arrogant." Someone from Acheron Hall walked out and said coldly. Lin Xian glanced at him. "Who do you think you are? Is this how your Sage King allows you to talk to your elders? Kneel down and open your mouth. You're courting death." "I'm so angry." The people from Acheron Hall also roared. The people from the other sacred cities also had cold expressions. Lin Xian looked at the people from Demon City, Lei Shuncheng, 10,000 Swords Pavilion, and Great Baron Mansion. "You juniors, why don't you all come over and offer me a toast?" They were so angry that they wanted to vomit blood, but no one dared to speak. They had no choice. Lin Xian's identity was too extraordinary. If they jumped out now, they would be courting death. A bunch of trash. Seeing that they didn't even dare to look at him, Lin Xian sneered. Then, he looked at Shi Yunhu. Seeing him standing there with a steely expression, he looked at Yinling's Sage King and smiled. "Sage King Yinling, I'll ask your grandson to pour me a cup of wine. Is that okay?" Everyone's gaze turned to him. Sage King Yinling was filled with hatred. He couldn't wait to destroy this kid's soul. But soon, he smiled. "No problem. Yunhu, hurry up and give Hall Master Lin a toast." Shi Yunhu's expression changed. Just as he was about to say something, he heard Sage King Yinling's voice. "Don't be angry. If we fight here, it will only show that we're not magnanimous. So beat him at his own game. Inject your strength into the wine and injure him directly. Let him embarrass himself in front of everyone. Let's see if he dares to be arrogant then." Hearing this, Shi Yunhu's eyes lit up. Indeed, so what if Lin Xian's identity was strong? Lin Xian was only a mid-stage sacred venerable, and he was already a late-stage sacred venerable. It was easy for him to injure Lin Xian. Thinking of this, a cold light appeared in his eyes. "Kid, let's see how you're going to die." Thinking of this, he walked over and said, "Hall Master Lin, let me toast you." With that, Shi Yunhu shook the wine cup and poured it forward. The surrounding people were stunned. Impossible. Was the primordial grotto bowing down to the sanctuary? They couldn't believe it. In the next moment, they understood. How was this bowing down? He wanted to kill. Sure enough, the wine that fell from the wine jug was truly too terrifying. It contained a biting cold killing intent and an extremely terrifying strength. This attack was capable of piercing through a world. The people from the sanctuary were also shocked. The people from Peerless City were also nervous. This Shi Yunhu was actually so strong in terms of strength. They dared to attack in front of everyone. In an instant, countless people looked at Lin Xian. Some were anxious, some sneered, and some had a biting cold murderous intent in their eyes. Lin Xian, on the other hand, did not seem to mind at all when he saw this scene. He already knew that these people were up to no good, but they wanted to plot against him. The Shi Yunhu in front of him couldn't do it at all. In the next moment, he took out the wine cup and circulated his power. He secretly activated Peerless City's 5 times secret skill and stellar transposition. The power that fell from the sky was ruthlessly counterattacked by him. With a boom, it hit Shi Yunhu's face. Shi Yunhu was hit by this power. He didn't defend at all and was sent flying. At the same time, the wine pot and wine cup exploded. The surrounding people were shocked. A figure was sent flying, accompanied by blood and a crazy roar. "My face. My eyes. What's going on?" The surrounding people were stunned. The people from the primordial grotto rushed forward. They realized that Shi Yunhu's head was broken. This power was so strong that even his soul was affected. "Yunhu, are you okay?" They hurriedly took out pills and divine crystals to treat Shi Yunhu's injuries. As for the others, their expressions were ice-cold as they walked over. "Kid, you dare to attack? Do you want to die? If you don't give an explanation today, you and the people from the sanctuary can forget about leaving." The people from the primordial grotto were murderous. Chapter 43-44. Lin Xian didn't care about their murderous intent at all. He said, "What? Are you all blind? Or are you trying to bully me?" Shi Yunhu obviously didn't have good intentions when he proposed a toast to me. His wine was filled with killing intent and violent energy. It was enough to pierce through the world. However, it was obvious that he wasn't skilled enough and his foundation wasn't stable, so he couldn't control the energy and injured himself. How can you blame me for this? If you ask me, you can only blame him for being trash. You. The elders of the immemorial grotto were so angry that they vomited blood. "Kid, don't talk nonsense. How could Shi Yunhu have hidden killing intent? That's right, it's a bunch of nonsense. Your excuse doesn't make sense at all. These elders still won't back down." Lin Xian sneered. "Are you all idiots? What do you think the people here are? Are they all trash? Do you think they can be manipulated by you? Those who can come here are all sacred venerables and top geniuses. I'm not the only one who knows what happened just now. Everyone knows. If you don't believe me, you can ask around and see who attacked first. Also, don't stand out like a clown. You'll only make others think that the people of the immemorial grotto are trash." Damn it. The people of the immemorial grotto were so angry that they vomited blood. However, they looked around and found that there were indeed some sacred cities and sacred grounds who were looking at them with cold eyes. They were obviously disdainful of what had just happened. "Kid, why do I feel like you're the one who attacked first?" The Silver Corpse Holy King stood up. "Yes, that's right." The Soaring Sky Holy King also stood up. "You're the one who attacked first. Are you still trying to accuse a deer of being a horse?" Lin Xian laughed. "Do you think you can cover the sky with one hand? Silver Corpse Holy King, your sacred city is about to be destroyed. You still have the face to stand here? If I were you, I would have found a place to cry. I don't know why you still have the face to stand here. It seems that your face is even thicker than your protective formation." Boom. The Silver Corpse Holy King was instantly enraged. A terrifying killing intent swept through the 9 heavens. He was so angry that he was about to explode. Damn it. The other party was saying such things again. This was the pain in his heart for the rest of his life. He had lost all his face. However, Lin Xian didn't care at all. He looked at Soaring Sky Saint King and said, "Why? Do you think that you can form an alliance with Immemorial Grotto by helping them? What a joke. Don't worry, I'll pay more attention to your 1,000 Demon City next time. I hope that your 1,000 Demon City's guardian formation will be stronger than the Yellow Springs Halls. Otherwise, I can guarantee that you will end up in an even worse state." Soaring Sky Saint King's eyes narrowed when he heard that. Damn it. Were they going to attack them? Damn it. They would probably have to be especially vigilant in the future. They really wanted to kill the kid in front of them immediately. The other saint rulers all gasped in shock at the same time. Being ambushed and almost destroyed by someone else was a huge threat to anyone. For a moment, no one dared to stand out. Lin Xian challenged 8 desolations alone and actually did not fall into a disadvantageous position. At this moment, Shi Yunhu's injuries had already healed. His face was ferocious. "Damn kid, I don't care who you are. I want you to die today." He was really angry. He had never been injured like this since he was young. Now that he was injured in front of everyone, he had lost so much face. He had to get back at him. "With just you?" Lin Xian's eyes were filled with disdain. Shi Yunhu was no match for him. Shi Yunhu was about to vomit blood. However, he didn't dare to make a move. "Kid, I don't need to do anything here. Someone else can deal with you." With that, he waved his hand and 3 figures walked out of the hall. "How dare you attack our young master? You'll definitely die today." The aura of these 3 people was abnormally strong. Moreover, they were wearing armor. It seemed like they were the experts guarding Shi Yunhu. At this moment, a man in black armor made his move. He struck out with his palm, bringing with it terrifying lightning that tore through the sky. The power of this strike made countless people exclaim, "What terrifying power!" This person's strength was too strong. Some people from the sacred lands even exclaimed, "This was the annihilation lightning." The power of this lightning was terrifying. They didn't know how the other party was going to fight. Those who were in the later stage felt their scalps go numb. They all looked at Lin Xian. However, Lin Wan didn't dodge at all. She still sat there, allowing the terrifying lightning palm to reach her. Did he have a death wish? Seeing that the other party didn't dodge, the armored man snorted coldly and revealed a sinister smile. It seemed that the other party wasn't much. This move was enough to kill the other party. How dare a mere lightning attack compete with me? At this moment, Lin Xian spoke. In the next moment, he grabbed the air with his hand. Endless lightning laws condensed and formed a lightning sword that slashed forward. It turned into a lightning dragon that descended from the sky. With a clanging sound, the entire hall was illuminated, and the sound of countless thunder dragons resounded. Everyone's ears were about to bleed. With one strike, the terrifying annihilation lightning palm was directly broken. Not only that, the body of the man in black armor was split in half and fell to the ground. One sword destroyed both his body and soul. The surrounding people were stunned. What kind of sword technique was that? It was too strong. Lightning. What the other party used was also lightning. It couldn't be, right? Countless people exclaimed. The strength of the man in black armor was obviously very terrifying. Even the older generation figures didn't dare to fight him head-on. However, in Lin Xian's hands, he couldn't even block a single strike. The faces of the people from the ancient grotto also changed. Shi Yunhu's face turned incomparably pale. How could this be? He felt a wave of fear and despair. The three powerhouses he brought were all very strong. None of them were weaker than him. In fact, they were even stronger than him. However, such people couldn't even block a single strike from the other party. Fortunately, he didn't do it himself. Otherwise, he would probably be a dead man now. Shi Yunhu, are you planning to use such people to fight me? Is there no one else in the ancient grotto? Trash like this, come at me together. Don't waste my time. Lin Xian said indifferently. The faces of the people from the ancient grotto changed. Shi Yunhu also gritted his teeth and attacked together. He used all his strength. When the remaining two powerhouses heard this, they also roared. One of them punched out with a terrifying fist, while the other formed a blue spear and stabbed out. Holy Earth Fist. With a punch, a terrifying power surged between heaven and earth, vast and mighty in all directions. This punch pierced through heaven and earth, causing everyone's faces to change again. On the other side, the blue spear stabbed over, turning into a stream of light in the sky. It attacked Lin Xian from a strange angle. The two of them attacked together. Their coordination was very good. No late-stage holy venerate would be able to block it. Chapter 43-45. Ignorant Ant. Lin Xian sneered and stretched out his palm. He formed a seal with his fingers, and the human ruler seal flew out and blasted forward. With one blow, the surrounding aura became extremely terrifying. It was as if the entire world was about to freeze. A huge pressure swept across the 9 heavens as if a peerless elite had been resurrected. Boom! The void in front of them instantly shattered and shrouded the two of them. Crack! 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 Under the horrified gaze of countless people, the bodies of the two elite warriors shattered into pieces and scattered on the ground. Did he kill them with one blow? Seeing this scene, the young geniuses and the sage kings were all stunned. They found it unbelievable. After all, even the older generation in the later stages would not be able to withstand the combined attack of the two elite warriors. How could this guy be so powerful? Shi Yunhu's face was filled with fear. It was as if he was facing a sage king. Lin Xian raised his head and looked forward. Then, he said, "What other trump cards do you have? Show them all. Why don't you do it yourself?" Hearing this, Shi Yunhu's face turned pale. He quickly retreated and almost fell to the ground. The people from the sacred hall sneered disdainfully at the sight of this. Lin Xian said, A piece of trash like you is not worthy of my attack. Get lost." With that, he waved his hand and a gust of wind blew Shi Yunhu away. Damn it! The people of the primordial grotto gritted their teeth and stared forward coldly. Xing Tian stood out and said, "What? Do you want to fight? The temple will fight you to the end." Is the temple that arrogant? The Silver Corpse Sage King also stood out. On the other side, the 10,000 Swords Pavilion, Thunder God City, and Demon City also stood up. The Peerless Sage King also stood up. His eyes were cold. "What? Do you want to continue the previous battle? I will fight you to the end." In an instant, the atmosphere was extremely tense. All of a sudden, Lin Xian frowned. He could feel that something was wrong with his body. The great dragon sword soul was operating wildly. It was not him, but the great dragon sword soul that was operating on its own. It destroyed a trace of energy in his body. What's going on? Lin Xian was shocked. He activated his Tianji divine eyes to check his body. He saw a wisp of gray aura quickly spreading. However, it was impossible to detect this aura without using the heavenly secret god eyes. Was he poisoned? Lin Xian was incomparably shocked. They raised their heads and looked at King Peerless. Peerless Saint King was also confused. "Junior brother, what's wrong? Senior brother, can't you feel it? It was poisonous." As soon as he said that, the people around him were stunned. Even Peerless Saint King was stunned. He closed his eyes and tried to sense it. In the next moment, his pupil shrank. "Damn it, are you trying to use despicable methods? What, was he poisoned?" The other Saint Kings were also shocked. Exclamations of surprise could be heard one after another. A cold glint appeared in Spirit Saint King Yan's eyes, but it quickly disappeared. In the next moment, he said, "How is this possible? What reason do I have to frame you? Damn it, what the hell is going on?" The King of Vast Sea frowned. On the other side, Bus Saint King also said, "Why do I feel like there's a mysterious force suppressing my cultivation?" As the Saint King spoke, the rest of the people were all stunned. What's going on? Why do those young people look so confused? Why don't they feel that way? Lin Xian's expression was extremely ugly. Could it be that this was a trap specifically for the Saint Kings? But how did the other party do it? It was impossible to put poison in the wine. Many people looked at Spirit Saint King Yin, their eyes filled with killing intent. Spirit Saint King Yin did not say anything, but he secretly gave a look. At this moment, Silver Corpse Saint King walked out. "Everyone, stop arguing. Even I'm poisoned. Do you think it's the primordial grotto's doing?" As soon as he said that, the others were also shocked. "What? Silver Corpse Saint King was poisoned? That's impossible." After all, Silver Corpse Saint King was Spirit Saint King Yan's son. "Who knows if you're really poisoned?" Peerless Saint King snorted. Silver Corpse Saint King said, "If you don't believe me, you can check." As expected, a Saint King's gaze covered his body. In the next moment, they found that there was a mysterious force in his body. Not only him, but Soaring Saint King, Desolate Saint King, and Divine Ghost Sword King were all poisoned. Damn it, hurry up and get rid of the poison. These people all moved. They did not dare to delay. The Sage Kings had a lot of heaven and earth treasures in their hands. They even had all kinds of elixirs. However, they found that they were not very useful. It was the same for Peerless Saint King. His expression became even uglier. The only one who could get rid of the poison was Lin Xian. Lin Xian did not need to eat any elixirs. The great dragon sword soul in his body could get rid of all of this. However, he had to do his best. Therefore, he could only protect himself now. He could not help Peerless Saint King and the others. However, he frowned. He found that he had seen this strange energy before. It did not seem to be poison. It was a curse. He had seen it in Green Mountain Saint King's body. He had even helped Green Mountain Saint King to get rid of it. However, he did not expect that the curse would appear in his body now. What surprised him was that the curse only seemed to be effective on Saint Kings. Among the young people, he was the only one who was cursed. What the hell was going on? Who was the one behind this? Lin Xian opened his heavenly secret god eyes and looked around. He didn't find anyone suspicious. At this moment, The other Saint Kings were also roaring. Damn it! How could this be? They found that no matter what they did, it was useless. They could only use their power to suppress it. However, this was not a solution. Just as they were anxious, the people outside were also exclaiming. They found that another group of experts had arrived quickly. These people were also young and mysterious. It seemed that their auras were similar to Han Chong and the others. After these people landed, they quickly flew towards the primordial hall. Soon, they arrived nearby. Everyone in the primordial hall was extremely nervous. If any enemies came at this time, they would be in great danger. Who was it? Saint King Yin Ling shouted angrily. Those mysterious people outside, by the way, are us. After saying that, these people walked in. They were also young people. Compared to Ling Hu Chueshue and the others, they had a trace of experience. Their arrival surprised Lin Xian and the others. Those Saint Kings were also surprised. Why did they come back? Exclamations could be heard. Lin Xian and the others were stunned. What was going on? Peerless Saint King said with a frown. The previous group of people who went to the buried Emperor Star had returned. Lin Xian was shocked. Were the 10 people in front of him the previous group of people who went to the buried Emperor Star? Then what did their return mean? Why did they come at this time? Lin Xian did not know. Chapter 43-46. Those people walked in and said, every time the Tao discussion ends, the seal on the buried Emperor's star will weaken a lot, and we can use that to return. This time, we have decided to come back and take a look. That's great. Those sage kings revealed gratified smiles. These people, who had left the holy city back then, now had holy king weapons. They were probably the peak existences among sage sovereigns. Master, your aura doesn't seem right. Could it be that you're injured? A man wearing a starry robe walked towards the 7-star Sage King. We've been poisoned, the 7-star Sage King said in a deep voice. That expert frowned when he heard that. Who did it? His gaze became sharp and he said with concern, Master, this is a spiritual medicine that I brought from the buried Emperor's star. It can cure hundreds of poisons. Eat it. It'll definitely work. After saying that, he took out a single bottle. When the others saw that, their eyes turned red. The elixir that was brought back from the buried Emperor's star was definitely miraculous. Sure enough, the other 9 people also walked back to their holy city. They said, Master, don't worry. We also have elixirs. These were all obtained from the heavenly abode. Great. The returning energy technique. The other Sage Kings from the Joyous Union Palace also swallowed the elixir. No one from the Peerless Sage King's side came. That was because none of them had entered the buried Emperor's star previously. However, at that moment, the Joyous Union Palace's Sage King sent over an elixir to the Peerless Sage King. The Peerless Sage King took the elixir and examined it carefully. He did not find any problems with it. Therefore, he swallowed it. Sure enough, the moment he swallowed it, he felt that the power of the curse had weakened. However, in the next moment, the Peerless Sage King's pupils shrank and he spat out a mouthful of black blood. The other Sage Kings' faces changed drastically. What's going on? The 7-star Sage King roared in anger. Damn disciple, how dare you trick me? That figure retreated and laughed loudly. So what if I trick you? How is this the corpse poison of a great sage? You Sage Kings can't withstand it at all. So stop struggling. What? Great sage corpse poison? The other people's faces changed when they heard that. Sure enough, they felt an even more terrifying poison quickly spreading in their bodies. The Sage Kings spat out blood, and their faces turned black. Peerless Saint King was not having a good time either. Lin Xian's expression changed as well. His heavenly secret god eyes instantly scanned the unparalleled holy light. In the next moment, his expression turned extremely ugly. Not good. He fell into a trap. If the previous curse could still be suppressed, given enough time, Lin Xian could help these Sage Kings get rid of it. But now, there was nothing he could do about the great sage corpse poison. All of them contained the power of a great sage, which was extremely terrifying. From the looks of it, The person who had secretly cursed them also knew that the power of these curses wouldn't be able to kill these sage kings for the time being. That was why they had made other arrangements. Sure enough, these saint kings were all poisoned by corpse poison. Lin Xian suspected that it was done by the people from the primordial grotto. However, at this moment, the faces of Spirit King, Holy King Silver Corpse, and the others from the primeval grotto turned dark. He looked like he had been poisoned. This made him even more confused. Who was it that wanted to catch them all in one fell swoop? At the front, those people who had returned from the buried Emperor's star said to the sky, "It's done." The pupils of Lin Xian and the other young geniuses constricted. Who were these people talking to? In the next moment, they saw one figure after another appear in the void, suppressing heaven and earth. There were a total of 8 figures, and they were extremely terrifying. The auras of these 8 people were unparalleled. They had also reached the Sage King realm. What was going on? Why were there so many Sage Kings? The surrounding youths were all stunned. There were only 1 or 2 Sage Kings in each sacred city. Moreover, some of them were used as a foundation and had always been in hibernation. It could be said that there were very few Sage Kings. Now, most of them had already come here and were all poisoned. But now, some mysterious Sage Kings had appeared out of nowhere. These people's auras were at their peak. They could probably kill everything with a wave of their hand. What should they do? The young disciples were in despair. If their Sage Kings weren't poisoned, they naturally wouldn't be afraid. But in this situation, they couldn't do anything. Wait. They all looked at the reincarnation protector who had been sitting there silently. It was as if the reincarnation protector hadn't been injured or poisoned. If the reincarnation protector were to take action, would he be able to intimidate these Sage Kings? A genius from the Limitless sect instantly walked over and knelt down on one knee, asking the reincarnation protector to take action and save their Sage Kings. The people from the 7-Star Tower and the other sacred cities also asked the reincarnation protector to take action. However, the reincarnation protector didn't say anything. He didn't even care. Instead, he turned his head and looked at the sky. He looked at the 8 figures that were like gods and demons. The auras of the 8 figures were abnormally hazy. He couldn't see clearly at all. Who exactly were they? Among them, the aura of the leader was abnormally terrifying. He was even more powerful than an ordinary Sage King. He said, "Reincarnation Protector, I didn't expect to meet you here. I'm really lucky. We're not targeting you this time, so we don't want to disturb you. But I hope that you won't make things difficult for us." "All right." The reincarnation protector said one word and then didn't say anything else. Everyone's heart sank to the bottom of their hearts. They were definitely going to die in this way. Peerless Sage King's face was also incomparably cold. "Mortal world, I didn't expect you guys to take action in the true spirit world. What a good plan." As soon as he said that, the surrounding people's faces also changed. It's too unbelievable. Are these 8 Sage Kings from the mortal world? They couldn't believe it. One should know that there were only a few Sage Kings in each sacred city. If the mortal world was so powerful, they could wipe out everything. Lin Xian's eyes narrowed. Are these people from the mortal world? That's right. We from the mortal world will return to this world. If you guys are willing to submit to us, we can save your lives. We can also increase your cultivation by another level. As soon as he said that, the crowd was in an uproar. The mysterious leader flipped his hand and took out a treasure box. He said, "There are 10 elixirs in the box that can save 10 Sage Kings. Who is prepared to submit to us? We'll give you elixirs to cure the poison." Hearing that, the crowd fell silent. Elixirs? What a joke. Previously, their disciples said that it was an antidote. In the end, it was the corpse poison of a supreme sage. Now, who knew if it was an even more powerful poison? So, no one dared to go. Humph. A bunch of despicable things. Peerless Sage King snorted coldly. On the other side, Thunder Sage King from Thunder God City also roared. "Do you dare to attack us? Don't think that you can be arrogant just because we're injured. Do you really think you're still a Sage King? Go and destroy Thunder God City." Chapter 43-47. With a command, a figure walked out from the sky. Endless laws condensed in his hand, forming a killing sword. It bloomed with an extremely terrifying aura. Boom. The sword chi was like a river of stars, dazzling and dazzling. A terrifying killing intent slashed down. In an instant, it enveloped those people from Thunder God City. Those experts' pupils shrank. Thunder God King roared and retreated quickly. With a roar, he clapped his palms and sent everyone around him flying. Then, he struck out a lightning bolt towards the sky. Boom! An earth-shattering sound rang out. Countless cracks appeared in the surroundings. The immemorial palace shook and was torn apart in an instant. Those people in the surroundings were also sent flying while vomiting blood. The people in the distance roared crazily. Run! Who would have thought that such a situation would happen in such a grand event? Was it blocked? The people from Thunder God City heaved a sigh of relief. They realized that their sage king had blocked the attack. The others also had hope. However, at this moment, Thunder God King's body swayed, and he vomited a mouthful of black blood. His face was filled with black chi. It seemed that the poison had deepened. The assassin who attacked sneered. You don't know your own strength. Do you think that you can still use your strength after being poisoned by a great sage's corpse poison? After saying that, he slashed out with his sword again. Boom! Thunder God King was sent flying. His body was split into two. Arg! With a roar, Thunder God King's soul rushed out, wanting to escape. However, that sage king also took out a blood-colored flag and enveloped Thunder God King in the blood river. Boundless aura spread out. Thunder God King's soul was poisoned, so he couldn't resist at all. Not long after, he was swallowed by the blood sea. Those people in the surroundings were stunned. Oh my God, what did they see? A sage king was killed just like that? This was too inconceivable. No. When the people from Thunder God City saw this, they roared even more crazily. They had all gone crazy. Had their Saint King fallen? On the other side, the other Sage Kings also felt their scalps go numb. Damn it, these people are serious. Let's go. They took their disciples and flew in all directions. In the sky, those people from the world of men sneered. Don't you think it's too late to leave now? Attack, leave no one alive. A few other figures also descended. This was a true Saint King who could suppress a region. Immediately, the entire area was sealed off, blocking everyone's path. Damn it, get out of my sight. Limitless Saint King roared in anger as he threw a punch forward. At the same time, the black aura on his face became even more terrifying. However, he did not hold back. This time, they had to break out of the encirclement. Otherwise, their fate would be very miserable. It was the same for the other Sage Kings. In an instant, a great battle broke out. What should we do? The people from Peerless City were also extremely nervous. Lin Xian frowned. The situation in front of him was very unfavorable. Although the other party only had 8 Saint Kings, which was less than their side, they were all at their peak. If they fought like this, they had no chance of winning at all. In the next moment, he turned to look at a figure in the distance and said coldly, Spirit Saint King Yin, this is the ancient grotto, your territory. With your foundation, you should have a lot of array formations, right? Why aren't you opening them now? Are you waiting for something? As expected, the other people also turned their heads. Spirit Saint King Yan's face darkened. He said coldly, you're too naive. If the people of the mortal world can poison us, then they've already destroyed the array formation. If that's the case, then he must have destroyed the formation of our primordial grotto long ago. There's nothing I can do now. The other Sage Kings' faces changed. So that was the case. It seemed that there was really no hope. However, Peerless Saint King snorted coldly. He pulled out the unparalleled sword and slashed forward. He was not attacking the people of the mortal world, but Spirit Saint King Yin. This scene gave everyone a fright. The people from the ancient grotto were also shocked. Spirit Saint King Yan's face darkened. He snorted coldly and then slapped out with his palm. With a boom, he actually sent the unparalleled sword flying. Peerless retreated and spat out a mouthful of blood. His face darkened. Linghu Chueshue and the others were shocked. No way, the other party could block the attack with his bare hands. Lin Xian sucked in a cold breath. It seemed that even though they were both Sage Kings, Spirit Saint King Yan's strength was still very strong. At this moment, Peerless Saint King sneered. Looking at you, you don't seem to have been poisoned at all. How do you explain this? That's right. A few Sage Kings turned their heads. Their eyes were filled with doubt and coldness. Could it be that this matter had something to do with the other party? Peerless Saint King snorted coldly. I'm very suspicious now. You and the people of the mortal world worked together to set up this trap. It was all for the sake of killing us. Damn it. No way. Everyone exclaimed. Wuji Saint King roared. How dare you be so despicable? What nonsense. Spirit Saint King snorted coldly. How could it be? Don't be fooled by him. Now, everyone should be united to deal with the people of the mortal world. United? That sounded nice. Kunlun Saint King sneered. Why didn't the people of the mortal world attack you from the beginning? So far, the ancient grotto's losses were the least, right? Damn it. Spirit Saint King's pupils constricted when he heard that. His expression became extremely ugly. In the next moment, he sent a telepathic message. Do it, or these old things will see through it. In the sky, the people of the mortal world also smiled when they heard the telepathic message. The leader sneered. Who said that we don't dare to attack the people of the ancient grotto? Go, kill them. A sage king descended from the sky. His powerful aura suppressed the surroundings. He attacked the people of the ancient grotto. Spirit Saint King pretended to be angry. Scram. He struck out with both palms. However, this time, another sage king attacked again. One of them enveloped Shi Yunhu, and then directly turned him into a bloody mist. Buzz. The blood-red flag in the sky rolled, forming a river of blood. It instantly absorbed the bloody mist that filled the sky. The surrounding people were stunned. What was going on? Was Shi Yunhu also dead? Spirit Saint King roared. Damn it. He attacked crazily, but the people of the mortal world hid. Are you satisfied now? My grandson has already been killed. Do you still suspect that I'm with them? Spirit Saint King's cold voice spread in all directions. The others also frowned. It seemed that this had nothing to do with the mortal world. However, Peerless Saint King and the others sneered. It was just a young junior. What was there to pity about his death? There were probably more than 10 of his grandsons. It seemed that Peerless Saint King and the others had been suspicious. Buzz, buzz, buzz. However, at this time, other than the 8 sage kings in the sky, many people in black appeared. They were all terrifying powerhouses of the mortal world. Now that they had appeared, they began to strike out at those young genius disciples. Some of them even charged towards Lin Xian. Chapter 43-48. Get lost. Lin Xian roared and slapped out with the man-ruler seal, sending the 3 Saint Venerables flying. He was incomparably powerful, like a barbaric war god. At the same time, Linghu Chueshue, Fu Hongye, and the others also attacked. The laws of heaven and earth filled the air, sweeping across all directions. A battle sword cut through everything. The others also fought back crazily, but at this moment, the 7-star tower's Saint King was directly blasted into a bloody mist. Terrifying Saint blood spread between heaven and earth. Boom. The 7-star Saint King was severely injured and retreated frantically. The other Saint Kings were also injured. They had no choice. First, they were cursed, then the Saint Corpse poison. It was already very heaven-defying for them to be able to last until now and not die. Damn it, this can't go on. Linghu Chueshue and the others gritted their teeth, because more and more enemies were attacking them. Finally, a Saint King's gaze looked in their direction. In an instant, Linghu Chueshue and the others all vomited blood and were sent flying. Lin Xian was also furious and took out the Great Destruction Spear. A terrifying demonic aura blocked that person's gaze. Too powerful. Lin Xian and the others were shocked. They raised their heads and realized that it was the leader who was staring at them. This person was obviously very strong. He should be at the level of Saint King Yinling facing such a terrifying aura. Lin Xian was prepared to use the Great Sage Tower. However, in an instant, his body stiffened. He realized that he couldn't summon the Great Sage Tower. A mysterious force had suppressed him. Damn it, it was a curse. Someone was cursing him. He was not the only one. The people around him also turned pale. Who was it that had such a terrifying curse ability? Lin Xian's expression was ugly. Without the Great Sage Tower, they would be in danger. The leader in the sky sneered. Kid, do you think we haven't analyzed you? We already know what trump cards you have, so don't think about escaping from our hands. After saying that, the corners of his mouth curled up into a cold smile. Lin Xian's expression became incomparably ugly. Damn it, these people were targeting him. He didn't expect that they even knew that he had the Great Sage Tower. Now that he was cursed, he couldn't use the Great Sage Pagoda. What should he do next? At this moment, the terrifying Saint King's palm descended like a part of the sky, aiming to kill Lin Xian. At the same time, it also enveloped Linghu Chuexue, Fu Hongye, and the others. Even the peerless Holy King was enveloped within it. It seemed like he wanted to catch them all in one fell swoop. Wong. Just then, peerless Saint King roared and created a huge whirlpool to block the hand. They quickly retreated. What, do you still have strength? Let's see how long you can run. That was the leader of the Saint Kings. He didn't attack immediately. Instead, he smiled coldly. He waved his hand, and a sacred ruler immediately led many sacred venerates to surround Lin Xian and the others. There were 2 half-step Saint Kings among them. They were very powerful. With such a lineup, Peerless City would be in grave danger. The other sacred cities did not have the extra energy and strength to manage this matter. After all, they could not even protect themselves. Wushuang Saint King and the others would definitely die. I'll see. He won't let him do it. As for his disciples, you guys can do it. I want him to see his personal disciples die. They'll all die before his eyes. These people revealed ferocious smiles. They were all wearing masks and their faces could not be seen. However, the murderous aura on them swept through the 9 heavens. Among them, the aura of the 2 half-step Saint Kings was even more terrifying. It was as if they could sweep through everything. One of the half-step Saint Kings stared at Lin Xian and said, I want to kill this guy personally. I'll leave the others to you guys. Everyone was shocked. The people of the Sacred Hall also looked terrible. Xing Tian and Peacock wanted to help. However, Lin Xian said, no need. You guys go and fight the others. Protect my senior. As for this trash, leave him to me. Lin Xian's eyes flashed with murderous intent. The half-step Saint King in front of him frowned after hearing Lin Xian's words. Trash? How dare he call him trash? One should know that he already had 1 foot in the Saint King realm. He was very powerful. What right did an ant have to say such things? Just because he had a Saint King weapon? What a joke. Kid, don't think that you can be arrogant in front of me just because you have a powerful trump card. You can't do it now. As he spoke, he formed a seal with his palms and spat out countless storms. These storms actually contained deadly poison. Saint King Corpse Poison. Although it was not as powerful as Supreme Saint King Corpse Poison, it was still very terrifying. Even Saint Kings did not dare to fight against it. Not to mention those below the Saint King realm. As expected, the people around Lin Xian also quickly retreated. However, Lin Xian snorted coldly. He activated the 9 Yang Divine Body. Terrifying flames surged. When the 2 sides clashed, there was an earth-shattering sound. Lin Xian's 9 Yang Divine Fire was actually suppressed by the Saint King Corpse Poison. It was even about to be extinguished. Seeing this, the expert sneered. The corners of his mouth curled up. Kid, do you see that? This is the difference between us. Do you think you can fight against me? What divine body? It can't even withstand a single blow from me. He was very proud. To be able to easily kill a peerless genius was simply the best for him. However, in the next moment, his pupils shrank. Not good. He quickly retreated. Because he saw that although Lin Xian's 9 Yang Divine Fire was suppressed, he was not enveloped by the Saint King Corpse Poison. Moreover, there was a black lightning in the other party's hand that pierced over. It carried a shocking power that seemed to be able to pierce through the sky. Boom. In an instant, the poison that he shot out was pierced. Otherwise, the black lightning would have arrived in front of him. Scram! The expert roared angrily and struck out with both palms. It was as if two mountains had appeared between heaven and earth. His strength was very strong. He was confident that he could block everything. Boom! However, in the next moment, blood burst out and a miserable voice sounded. A huge force sent him flying. His hands were directly blown apart. Damn it! How was this possible? The half-step Saint Venerate's expression became incomparably ugly. How could the other party's strength be so strong? Damn it! Was that black spear the spear of great destruction? He was truly too shocked. The surrounding people were also stupefied. Heavens! A half-step Saint King was injured in one strike in front of the other party. It was truly too inconceivable. What's going on? The other people also turned their heads to look at them. He was too careless. He did not expect that the other party would be able to use the Saint King weapon to such an extent. But don't worry, I will go all out. I will not give him a chance. Chapter 43-49. After saying that, the man's broken arm healed again, and a cold, murderous intent appeared in his eyes. Kid, you are indeed very strong with a Saint King weapon, but you are not a true Saint King. So that attack just now used at least 1/3 of your strength, right? How many more times can you use such an attack? I don't believe you can use it endlessly. As for me, I already have 1 foot in the Saint King realm. It will be easy for me to kill you. After saying that, a trace of cold, murderous intent appeared in his eyes. A long spear appeared in his hand, blooming with a terrifying light. At the same time, a shield appeared in his hand. It was a white bone shield, clearly made from the bones of some strong cultivator after death. Its power was so strong that the surrounding world kept shattering. Die! He waved the long spear in his hand, and it turned into a bolt of lightning, charging out again. So what if the other party had a Saint King weapon? He believed that with his cultivation, he could suppress everything. Lin Xian snorted coldly, and his face turned cold. He had to admit that the other party was indeed very strong. If it was another late-stage Saint Venerable, that attack just now could completely destroy the other party's soul. But now, he did not do it. The other party's arm was only damaged, and now, he still had the strength to stand. He took a deep breath, and a cold light appeared in his eyes. He waved the Great Destruction Spear again, and it collided with the other party's long spear. With a bang, the entire sky was directly torn apart. The murderous intent on the long spear kept shattering, and it was consumed. Meanwhile, the great spear of destruction stopped in the air. Clearly, it had been blocked, but in just an instant, an even more terrifying aura descended again. Boom! It was like a black mountain pressing down. How could it be? The half-step Saint King's pupils constricted, and he hurriedly waved the white bone shield to block. With a clang, he felt his entire arm go numb, and he was forced back. However, a cold smile appeared on his face because it had blocked him. Haha, kid, did you see that? I blocked it. However, as soon as he finished speaking, his expression turned extremely ugly. Because Lin Xian did not say a word, and directly attacked with another Great Destruction Spear. The power that could destroy everything once again slammed into his body and sent him flying. After 3 strikes, his entire arm was completely shattered and turned into a bloody mist. Otherwise, his white bone shield would have shattered as well. Half of his body had been completely shattered. You want to kill me? Do you think it's possible? Lin Xian mocked. The half-step Saint King's expression turned ugly. Damn it! How could the other party be so powerful? Originally, he thought that with his strength, he would be able to suppress the other party. But now, it seemed that he couldn't do it. In the distance, the Saint King's expression also darkened. Brat, what's there to be arrogant about? If I want to kill you, it'll be as easy as flipping my hand. Lin Xian snorted coldly, holding the Great Destruction Spear in his hand, his expression disdainful. A cold voice sounded. You're a dignified saint ruler. Don't you find it embarrassing to say such things? If I were a Saint King, I could kill you instantly with a single glance. I don't know what you're so arrogant about. Hearing this, that Saint King was furious. Do you want to die? A cold, murderous intent appeared in his eyes. Saint Emperor Wushuang snorted coldly. You want to kill my junior brother? You'll have to get through me first. The terrifying, devouring law surged out from his body again. You don't know what's good for you. I wanted to let you live a little longer. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. That Saint King was completely enraged. A long sword appeared in his hand, and he directly attacked Saint King Wushuang. The two of them fought fiercely, and the terrifying power made everyone retreat. Attack! Lin Xian also roared at this moment. The 10 ultimate sword formation was fully activated, and all kinds of terrifying murderous intent and taiji diagrams flew out. Instantly, many people in the mortal world were split in half, and he directly charged towards that half-step holy king. There was no need to hold back. Kill without mercy. Peacock, Xingtian, Linghu Chueshue, and the others also attacked crazily. At this moment, they wanted to fight with all their might. You're courting death. The half-step Saint King was furious. The other party actually wanted to attack him. Did they really think that he was a pushover? In the next moment, endless law appeared on his body, burning fiercely. It seemed that he wanted to fight with his life. Die. The long spear in his hand became even more terrifying. It was as if it had come alive. Suddenly, some people from the temple vomited blood and were sent flying. He attacked with his long spear, and his aura was strong. It could be said that these people were the strongest below the Saint King. But unfortunately, he met Lin Xian. Lin Xian was also very strong. He roared, and the power in his body exploded. His entire body was extremely strong, and he used the Great Destruction Spear to the extreme. Boom, boom. Lin Xian roared, like a peerless savage god. One attack, and heaven and earth cracked. The opponent's long spear was directly destroyed, and that person also turned into a mist of blood. His face was full of fear. What was going on? How could the other party be so strong? Quickly, he retreated into the distance. Lin Xian's eyes shone with an extremely cold light. You still want to leave? I'll make you unable to reincarnate for 100 lifetimes. Lin Xian's aura was really too strong. He opened his Tianji divine eye, and 2 golden flames flew out, instantly enveloping the opponent's soul. The half-step Saint King's soul roared crazily. Damn it! But in the end, his soul was not destroyed, and he still managed to block it. Boy, so what if your soul is strong? I'm a half-step Saint King, and I already have the will of a Saint King. Can you block it? Just you wait. My companions will destroy you in both body and soul. Is that so? Lin Xian began to use the great dragon sword soul, and the power poured into the Tianji divine eye. A shocking dragon roar sounded, and suddenly the power of the Tianji divine eye exploded. It instantly turned into 2 peerless sword lights and slashed forward. It split the opponent's soul. No, damn it. How could it be like this? The soul screamed, and his soul was completely destroyed. The surrounding people were all stunned, especially the people in the human world. Their faces became extremely ugly. A half-step Saint King died just like that? Damn it. Many people's faces turned cold. Even the Saint King leader in the sky became extremely ugly, because if such a person was nurtured, he would be another Saint King. But now, he had died, and was killed by a young man. How could he tolerate it? Die. The Saint King was ready to do it himself, and he slapped downward. His palm was bathed in flames, and he descended from the sky like a god. Not good. The people of the temple exclaimed, and the people of Wushuang City were also in despair. Saint King Wushuang's eyes narrowed. He wanted to attack, but he was stopped by a sword. It's useless. I won't give you any chance to attack. Chapter 43:50. It's over. Lin Wudi is dead for sure. The other people from the sacred city were the same. Lin Xian's face turned ugly. He took out 4 storage rings. There were countless treasures in them. Obviously, he was going to use the great dragon sword soul at all costs. However, at this moment, the sky and earth split open. A finger fell. It pierced through the terrifying hand. Boom. A terrifying aura spread out in all directions, causing everyone to stop fighting and look over in disbelief. What's going on? The people from the sacred city were stunned. The people from the mortal world were even more shocked. This time, their leader was a mid-stage Saint King. He was so strong that he could sweep through everything. Now, there was someone who could stop him. Who was it? Who was it? The leader of the sacred kings shouted angrily. His eyes pierced through the world. Mortal world, stop it. At this moment, an aged voice resounded. Was someone coming out? The eyes of the sacred kings shone with a terrifying light. The reincarnation protector's eyes also shrunk. Lin Xian took a deep breath. Was he coming out? Under everyone's gaze, a figure walked out of the void. It was an old man. He looked very simple, but no one dared to look down on him, because it was this old man who easily blocked the attack of the leader of the sacred kings. Who are you? The leader of the mortal world said coldly. He was also shocked. He realized that he couldn't see through this person. The old man didn't say anything. However, the people from the sacred palace all cried out in surprise. Old Palace Master. Lin Xian was also shocked. It was Xiajuyo. Wasn't he going to fall into a deep sleep? Why did he appear? Could it be because of them? The reincarnation protector's eyes shone with a cold light. It was like a divine flame. He stared at the figure in front of him. Xiajuyo? He whispered to himself. The people of the mortal world were also stunned. You are Xiajuyo of the Immortal Palace. Obviously, they had heard of this name before. Xiajuyo walked over and said, You are wrong. From now on, there is no Immortal Palace. We are the Sacred Palace. The people of the mortal world gasped. How dare you betray the immortals? Do you want to die? My life and death is none of your business. Xiajuyo's eyes also shone with a cold radiance. Even though it only lasted for an instant before disappearing, everyone still felt their bodies trembling. It was as if they had encountered a ferocious beast that was about to be resurrected. What are you trying to do? Are you sure you want to meddle in our affairs? This will cause your divine palace to be completely destroyed. The leader said. Xiajuyo said, You're attacking the temple master now, so I can't just ignore it. With that, Xiajuyo looked at Lin Xian. Little brat, are you all right? Lin Xian's eyes turned red. Elder Xia. He knew that the reason why Elder Xia wanted to go into hibernation was that he had suffered some sort of injury, or that he didn't have much time left. It was impossible for such a person to use too much power. Now, was the other party going to make a move? He was afraid that the situation in the future would be even worse. As expected, the leader said, You don't know the difference between life and death. If you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. Men, kill him for me. There was an angry roar. Two sage kings walked out from afar. Their blood was boiling, and a terrifying light shrouded the 9 heavens and 10 lands. When the two of them attacked together, the heavens fell and the earth cracked. Everyone was stunned. This should be enough to wipe out everything. No one knew if the famous old man could withstand it. Go to hell. One of them held a killing sword and slashed out. With one slash, the wind and clouds changed. The faces of the sage kings changed drastically. This slash was too powerful. The other person formed a seal with his palms and turned into a demonic beast that charged over. The power was equally terrifying. It was as if the primordial sword god had been resurrected. The two of them attacked from the front and back, not holding back at all. Everyone was extremely nervous. Xiajuyo stood there, without any intention of attacking. When the attacks of the two people enveloped him, he suddenly opened his eyes. In his gaze, there was a cold light. A ball of cold light flashed. Then, he opened his mouth and spoke a note. Boom. There seemed to be a celestial sound in the world. Suddenly, the attacks of the two sage kings were shattered. The two sage kings vomited blood and were sent flying. Countless large cracks appeared on their bodies. It nearly tore their bodies apart. With one strike, he had severely injured two sage kings. Wasn't he too powerful? Everyone was stunned. What kind of strength had this old man reached? The eyes of the sage king leader in the sky shrunk. Attack again. This time, it was another 4 people who charged forward. The 4 Saint Kings formed a terrifying array in all 4 directions. When the four of them attacked, none of them could withstand it. Then, Xia Zhiyo uttered another sound. Suddenly, the four of them turned into a bloody mist and fled frantically. Everyone was shocked by this scene. What kind of superpower and means was this? Could it be that this guy had surpassed the Sage King level? They were all stunned. Xia Zhiyo's face turned pale. He even vomited a mouthful of blood. "Old Xia, how are you?" Lin Xian was extremely nervous. When the Sage King leader of the mortal world saw this, he laughed. "Xia Zhiyo, so what if you're strong? If I'm not wrong, you're nearing the end of your lifespan. How many more attacks can you make in such a state? Even if I have to waste my time, I'll exhaust you to death." The other Sage Kings frowned. Indeed, Xia Zhiyo was too old. No one knew how long he had lived. He was probably nearing the end of his lifespan. If he attacked with his full strength, he might die today. Lin Xian frowned. He said, "Old Xia, don't attack. I still have a way." Xia Zhiyo shook his head and smiled bitterly. "I'm old. I'm not as good as I used to be. Back then, I could kill them 10,000 times with a single glance." Everyone was shocked. No one doubted that. However, a hero was past his prime. As his lifespan neared its end, his strength would decrease drastically. Perhaps this was Xia Zhiyo's current state. "Don't worry. He's an old man who's about to die. I'll send him on his way today." A cold voice sounded. In the next moment, a woman flew over from the sky. Her aura was also extremely strong. The expressions of those Sage Kings turned extremely unsightly. Was another middle-stage Sage King here? The other party had two middle-stage Sage Kings. They could sweep through everything. Indeed, the leader of the Saint Kings from before also revealed a sinister smile. "Great. Old man, do you think you can withstand it now?" If the two of them worked together, they could exhaust the other party to death. "Damn it, give me all your strength." Lin Xian roared furiously. He was prepared to use the great dragon sword soul. However, at this moment, a cold voice came from the sky. "Despicable thing. Today, the deity Dao Union will enforce justice on behalf of the heavens." Chapter 43:51. The wind and clouds in the world changed, and a few figures appeared in the sky. These figures suppressed everything, blocking the overwhelming killing intent. "More people are coming?" Countless people were shocked. Lin Xian's pupils constricted. "Are the deity Dao Union's people here? That's great. There is hope. These people are here to deal with the mundane realm." Indeed, the expressions of the people of the mundane realm changed as well. Damn it. The deity Dao Union is really like a lingering spirit. 10 more terrifying Saint Kings appeared between heaven and earth, suppressing the area. Everyone regained their hope. Lin Xian was also shocked. He also saw a few familiar people. Among them were the old woman holding a flower basket, the drunkard carrying a gourd, and the old man holding a sickle and wearing cotton clothes that Xiao Chen met in the true spirit world. The one leading them was a middle-aged scholar holding a folding fan. He looked extremely weak, but no one dared to underestimate him. Why are there so many holy kings in the deity Dao Union? Linghu Chueshue and the others were stunned. They did not belong to any holy city or any holy land. As long as they were determined to enforce justice on behalf of the heavens, they would be able to do so. In that case, they were the people of the deity Dao Union. Lin Xian was shocked as well. It looked very similar to the mundane realm. As long as one wore the mundane realm's killing god mask, one could turn into a killing sage. These people all had many identities. Deity Dao Union, you finally appeared. However, do you think that you can contend against us in the mundane realm with just you? We have long wanted to deal with you. The cold voice of the leader of the holy kings echoed in the world. Countless experts felt their scalps turn numb. Facing the deity Dao Union, did the people of the mundane realm still have such confidence? Upon hearing this, the leader of the deity Dao Union, that middle-aged scholar, narrowed his eyes. He said, "Others might not know your origins, but we are very clear about them. Today, it is time to make a move and eliminate you from this world. There is no need for you to exist in the mundane realm." After he finished speaking, a sharp killing intent appeared on his body. The holy kings behind him also burst forth with extremely terrifying light. This is the Jade Pool holy water that we just obtained in the Jade Pool. Perhaps it might be useful to you all. The Jade Pool holy water in the Jade Pool holy water fell from the sky. That's great. Peerless Saint King's eyes lit up. The Jade Lake holy water was an extremely precious treasure. Although it might not necessarily be able to cure their great sage corpse poison, it would at least be able to improve their condition. Therefore, these people hurriedly absorbed it. When the people of the mortal world saw this scene, their expressions turned ugly. Hurry up and kill them all. A great battle broke out in an instant. It was incomparably terrifying. Lin Xian and the others were pushed far away. This was a battle between Saint Kings. However, there were two other places that were relatively safe. The first one was on Lin Xian's side because Xiajuya was standing there. Even the power of a Saint King could not affect it. The other was where the reincarnation protector was. Even if he stood there, no energy could get close to him. Lin Xian and the others watched the battle anxiously. In the end, they even made a move. After all, in the human world, other than the terrifying Saint Kings, there were even more Saint Killers coming. These people needed their help to deal with. Lin Xian also took a step forward when he saw the Saint Slayers charging at him. A cold light flashed in his eyes. At the same time, he roared, "Deity Palace! Peerless City! Here!" The people of Deity Palace walked out. The eyes of the geniuses of Peerless City also lit up. Lin Xian was not only the master of Deity Palace, but also the junior brother of Peerless Saint King. Now that Peerless Saint King was fighting, Lin Xian could command Peerless City. Kill! A cold voice rang out. The people of Peerless City and Deity Palace roared. Their auras were like a shocking storm that soared into the sky. Then, they quickly moved out. Lin Xian's body swayed. His 9 young divine body shone brightly. He rushed forward. The entire world was lit up. Everyone saw a golden giant that looked like a sun war god appearing between the heavens and the earth. That terrifying flame aura swept out in all directions. What a terrifying physique. As expected of a divine body, countless exclamations rang out. The faces of the people of the mortal world turned cold and gloomy. Moreover, they realized that the people of Deity Palace cooperated well with each other. They could even form many formations. Although Peerless City's team did not cooperate well, each of them was extremely strong and could make up for their shortcomings. These two teams were under Lin Xian's control. When they attacked together, their power was extremely strong. Now, they knew why Lin Xian dared to fight against them in such a dangerous place. Damn it! Wang Jinyi's face turned ugly when he saw this. To be honest, he had been defeated by Lin Xian and wanted to take revenge. However, it seemed that the gap between him and Lin Xian was getting wider. No, I must get my hands on the Chaos Sword technique. Of course, the prerequisite was that he could survive this hunt. Lin Xian led countless experts and charged forward. Soon, the battle started again. The middle-aged scholar waved his hand. A blue frost appeared in his hand and spread out in all directions. Sensing this aura, the expressions of many Saint Kings changed. Even Lin Xian's pupils shrank. He felt that his 9 young divine body was being suppressed. What a powerful frost aura. It seemed to be able to freeze everything. Buzz. As the fan was opened, a terrifying coldness filled the air, becoming even more terrifying. The leader of the mortal world said, "Indestructible frost fan. Damn it, you actually managed to cultivate it successfully?" He was really shocked. In the next moment, he also let out a furious roar, and an extremely terrifying blood-red light appeared on his body. It turned into a lotus, and he directly swallowed it. Boom! A terrifying aura and law appeared on his body. The Saint King leader continuously formed hand seals. His terrifying killing intent was incomparable. A blood-red pagoda appeared in his hand, rising and falling continuously. Kill! The pagoda charged out. On the other side, the terrifying indestructible frost fan also flew out. The two forces exploded rapidly between heaven and earth. Not good. Retreat. The others frantically retreated. The power of these two peak sage kings was probably endless. However, The moment this horrifying aura appeared, it quickly disappeared. More accurately, it was sealed in ice between heaven and earth. With a wave of the indestructible frost fan, everything was sealed in ice. That terrifying blood-red killing intent was also sealed in ice. Damn it! The leader of the Sage Venerate shrank his eyes. His expression turned extremely unsightly. He quickly retreated. However, frost also formed in his surroundings. There was even frost on his body, making his speed extremely slow. Boom! The leader roared furiously. The blood-red light on his body directly cracked. That horrifying energy destroyed the frost. However, a few terrifying wounds appeared on his body. Blood flowed out as he half knelt in the air. Is he injured? When the Sage Kings of the mortal world saw this scene, their pupils shrank. Their leader was actually injured. On the deity Dao Yunyan's side, the middle-aged scholar said indifferently when he saw this scene, "With just your blood-red lotus, you cannot defeat my indestructible frost fan. Hence, you will definitely lose today." Chapter 43:52. Damn it! That Sage King leader gritted his teeth. That mysterious woman also walked out from around him. He looked ahead and thought, "You are indeed stronger than I imagined. However, if the two of us work together, you will not have an easy time either. You can try." That middle-aged scholar snorted coldly, and an even more terrifying aura emanated from his body. "Why? Do you still want to continue fighting? Don't forget that we are born assassins. If we want to make a move against you, we have an absolute advantage." The two sides faced off again. Both sides had suffered losses. If they continued, it would be even more difficult and tragic. The deity Dao Yunyan was extremely strong. The immortal scholar alone could defeat the other party's leader. However, the other party seemed to have two leaders this time. Furthermore, what the other party said was true. The people of the mortal realm were the best at assassination, appearing and disappearing mysteriously. Furthermore, the Sage Kings of the Holy City were all poisoned. If this dragged on, it would be even more dangerous. It looked like they had to end this battle quickly. Just at this moment, another figure walked out from the other side and said coldly, from the looks of it, it would be impossible to completely kill these people now. They could only find another opportunity. The moment these words were spoken, everyone turned their heads to look. Some people had cold expressions, especially those from the 7-star tower. They were surging with killing intent. This was because the person who spoke was a genius from their 7-star tower. Of course, it was the genius who returned from the buried Emperor Earth Star. The other party was the first Sage King to use the Great Sage Corpse Poison to kill them. Now that the other party appeared, how could they not be filled with killing intent? "Xingyao, do you have anything to say?" The mysterious woman looked at the young man. Xingyao said, "My lord, I have an idea." "Oh, say it." That mysterious woman nodded. Xingyao walked forward and looked ahead. "I know that you are very strong, but our mortal realm is not to be trifled with. If we continue fighting, both sides will suffer even more losses. I think that you are not willing to see such a scene, right? How about this? Let's have a battle. If we win, then let us leave calmly, and we won't do anything to you. If we lose, then we will give you the antidote. How about it?" The moment these words were spoken, the expressions of the deity Dao Yunyan's people changed. That middle-aged scholar also said, "How do you want to fight?" It was very simple. Xingyao's eyes flashed. He pointed at Lin Xian. "Let me have a duel with him. I don't think you guys have any objections. One-on-one." Moreover, was her heart going to be with Lin Xian? The surrounding people were shocked. Some people let out a sigh of relief. Lin Xian was so powerful that he could even kill a half-step king. He had no problem dealing with Starshine. At this moment, Xingyao said, "Of course, for the sake of fairness, we are not allowed to use any pills or weapons. They could only rely on their own strength to fight. I think you should be able to do that." As soon as he said that, the faces of the people from the Divine Hall changed. The experts from the other holy cities also frowned. In that case, he would not be able to use the Saint King's weapon. Lin Xian's trump cards would be greatly reduced. This Xingyao came back from the buried Emperor Star, and his strength is extremely terrifying. If he did not use the martial Saint King's weapon, even a late-stage holy venerate would not be able to contend against him. Now, he actually wanted to challenge Lin Xian. Wasn't this clearly bullying? Some people clenched their teeth. Indeed, the deity Dao Union's people snorted coldly. A challenge is fine, but we can send someone else. However, Xingyao said, no, this is a battle between the two of us. If you want, then this is a battle. If you are willing, then we can resolve this matter. The losses between our sides will be extremely small. If you do not agree, then let's fight. I have never feared anyone in the mundane world. Damn it, you dare to threaten us? The expressions of the deity Dao Union's people turned cold. However, that undying scholar said, young man, what do you think? Immediately, everyone looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian said, I will accompany you at any time. So what if he did not use the martial Saint King's weapon? Lin Xian had never feared anyone. Since the other party wanted to challenge him, then so be it. Could this fellow do it? Countless people felt doubtful. However, that undying scholar smiled and said, all right, let's do it this way then. After saying that, his eyes flashed. His eyes flickered as he sent a voice projection. The people of the mundane world are especially despicable. Hence, their words cannot be completely trusted. If we win and they still want to make a move, then there will be another battle. Hence, we have to prepare in advance. I am prepared to use that magic skill. However, it will take too long. This battle can give me time to prepare. If they had retreated obediently, he could have spared their lives this time. Then, I will give these holy kings a chance to heal. If they attack again, then I will deal with them completely, at all costs. The deity Dao Union's people nodded as well. Indeed, this time, they had made two plans. Honestly speaking, they did not particularly want to start a battle. After all, these people in the holy city were poisoned and were in extreme danger. It was better to deal with the poison first. If you want to fight, then bring it on. I hope you will keep your word. Lin Xian said coldly as he walked out. Xiao Chuan would definitely win this battle. Furthermore, he would end it quickly. Very good. When Xingyao saw this scene, he smiled as well. He looked at the two leaders. The two leaders nodded. Then, Xingyao's figure flashed, and he walked forward. Seeing the other party walk over, Lin Xian said coldly, prepare your antidotes. It would be best if you can take them out immediately after I win. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude. Brat, you are too naive. Don't think that you can be arrogant just because you killed a half-step holy king. Previously, you only relied on your holy king weapon. With your own strength, you are not qualified to say such words before me. I wonder, can Lin Xian win? The eyes of the surrounding people flickered. They all placed their hopes on Xiao Chuan. As for those holy kings, they also made use of this opportunity to suppress their injuries. Lin Xian took a deep breath. Then, a sharp light suddenly burst out of his eyes. The nine-yang divine body released a bright light. An extremely berserk energy burst out, sweeping through the surroundings. Clearly, Xiao Chuan planned to use his full strength, not holding back at all. He was like a god of war. On the other side, Xingyao smiled coldly as well. He formed hand seals, and beams of starlight quickly gathered, instantly forming a starry sky chart. Then, he ruthlessly smashed it forward. Kid, fighting with me is the biggest mistake you've ever made. Now, you can go and die. Xingyao did this for two reasons. First, he wanted to protect the world. Second, he wanted to use this battle to kill Lin Xian. This was the best opportunity. Chapter 43:53. Lin Xian's expression turned incomparably cold as he stretched out his palm. The golden palm formed a hand seal, just like the human king first class. A terrifying sound rang out in the sky. Then, the palm slammed forward. Boom! The collision of the two gave off a thunderous sound that reverberated throughout the sky. The sound caused the surrounding experts to feel their blood boil. Some of the young geniuses felt their scalps go numb. This kind of attack was really too strong. It was beyond their expectations. However, those sage rulers opened their eyes wide and stared ahead. Between heaven and earth, time seemed to have come to a standstill. Everyone saw a strange hand seal pressing on the starry sky map. The two of them stopped in the sky. Is this the person you want to challenge? Your strength is only if you are still far from being able to kill me. Lin Xian's eyes flickered as he stared ahead. A cold smile appeared on his face. On the other side, Xingyao released a terrifying light. Is that so? Then let's wait and see. Soon, I will make you despair. The power between the two of them erupted once more. Then, the two figures quickly retreated. Between them, countless laws spread out in all directions. When the surrounding people saw this scene, they were extremely shocked. They were evenly matched. It was really hard to believe. However, the people in the mortal world had extremely cold expressions on their faces. One had to know that Xingyao was not an ordinary genius. He could not even be considered part of the younger generation. After all, he was a genius from the previous generation and had entered the buried Emperor Star. As someone who had returned from the buried Earth Star, his strength was extremely terrifying. How could the people from the second astral realm block his attack? However, someone had actually blocked Xingyao's attack. The people from the deity Dao Union heaved a sigh of relief. To be honest, they had been worried for Lin Xian. However, from the looks of it, Lin Xian's strength far exceeded their expectations. In the sky, Xingyao stood there with a gloomy expression. His arm was a little numb. His arm felt numb as he looked ahead. A piercingly cold light burst out from it. Is this the legendary divine body? It is indeed strong. It can actually allow the other party to have such strength. One had to know that his cultivation was much higher than Xingyao's. However, Xingyao was still able to block his attack. This should be the power of the divine body. But so what? His strength was not limited to this. If the other party only had this much strength, then he could only say that the game was over. Humph! He snorted coldly. Then, he formed a seal with his palm, and the surrounding laws spread out in all directions. Heaven and earth trembled as countless voids shattered. Starlight directly sprinkled down from the outer realm. It was as if the entire sky was about to be torn apart. An extremely terrifying power of the stars was rapidly converging towards him. What kind of method was this? It was so scary. The expressions of the surrounding geniuses changed. Even the Saint Kings narrowed their eyes. Did this divine ability come from the universe? How terrifying, as expected of someone who came back from the buried Emperor Star. This method was really too powerful. Lin Xian also frowned. He had to admit that the other party was indeed much stronger than the people he had met before. After all, he was someone who had experienced the buried Emperor Star and returned alive. However, the other party was underestimating him too much. Although he hadn't been to the buried Emperor Star and wasn't a late-stage expert, so what? His battle strength wasn't inferior to anyone. Brat, you relied on your powerful physique to withstand my attack. This really surprised me. However, I can tell you that this is the end. Because at this moment, no one below the Saint King realm is my match. You are no exception. Boom. Following his voice, a vast and terrifying sound rang out between heaven and earth. The stars in the sky formed a sword of stars, exuding an unparalleled aura. Following his movements, the star sword continued to expand and blossom with a terrifying light. There were ancient Dao runes on it that were spreading. As his arm fell, the sword of stars in the sky also slowly descended. An extremely powerful force descended from the sky. Countless people felt this scene, and their expressions turned grave. Indeed, it was too terrifying for anyone below the Saint King realm to resist this move. In the mortal world, a cold smile appeared on his face. It seemed that this battle was over. The other party was definitely going to die. They all breathed a sigh of relief. This was because Lin Xian was on their must-kill list, as well as the saint rulers that they wanted to capture in one fell swoop. They couldn't allow someone who had been abandoned by the heavens to live. What a terrifying sword intent. Lin Xian's expression was also grave. He naturally felt the powerful force brought by the star sword. This was the power of the outer realm. It was incomparably vast. He took a deep breath and his eyes blossomed with a biting cold light. Then, his physique became even more terrifying. A trace of killing intent blossomed in his eyes. He circulated the Tiger Clan's breathing technique. As he breathed in and out, it spread out in all directions like thunder. The eyelids of the surrounding people twitched wildly. They could feel a violent force surging towards them from all directions. It was obvious that Lin Xian had also used some powerful techniques. Boom! The laws of heaven and earth danced and thunder rumbled. The terrifying void was constantly being torn apart. Lin Xian, on the other hand, swung his fist and pushed forward. Tiger Demon Fist. A terrifying and ferocious aura spread out in all directions. Lin Xian's fist, which was originally golden, was now filled with black veins. They kept spreading out. The power coming from the veins caused the expressions of countless people to change. What kind of fist technique is this? It's too terrifying. Is this brat really just a middle-stage holy venerate? Why do I feel that even a late-stage holy venerate can't do this? As expected of the Middle Emperor from back then, an exceptional genius. Some people were incomparably shocked. Those young geniuses were even more flabbergasted. On the other side, when Xingyao saw this scene, his expression also became incomparably grave. Can the other party also execute such a powerful attack? Although the other party hasn't made a move yet, the aura from the other party still shocked him. Damn it! It looks like I have to use some more techniques. Thinking of this, he formed hand seals again. The void above his head kept breaking apart. Once again, endless starlight condensed and turned into a starry sky sword. The power carried by the star sword swept out in all directions. One star sword wasn't enough to kill the other party. Then, he'll use another one. He doesn't believe that the other party can still resist two swords at the same time. The pupils of the surrounding experts shrank. The sage rulers were also stunned. No way. Xingyao can actually summon a star sword. What kind of cultivation did he receive on the buried Emperor Star? How did he become so powerful? Chapter 43-54. Kid, it's all over now. Under countless shocked gazes, Xingyao waved the starry sky sword in his hand. The two starry sky swords pressed down from the sky and slashed forward. Roar! Lin Xian's fist let out a tiger's roar. Then, those black fists with destructive power also pushed out. When the two collided, a shocking power and law swept through the 9 heavens. Everyone opened their eyes wide and looked carefully. They wanted to see if the expert who came back from the buried Emperor Star was stronger, or if the top genius of their holy city was stronger. In the sky, countless people watched nervously. The two peerless divine abilities collided in an instant. Then, a desolate-like power burst out and quickly swept in all directions. The surrounding palaces and heaven and earth were all shattered in an instant. Nothing could stop this shocking power. The mortal world's killing saints had grave expressions. To be honest, they recognized Xingyao's power very much. When Lin Xian dared to make a move, they didn't care about him at all. But now, it seemed that he did have the qualifications to be arrogant. The sage kings of the holy city were also nervous to the extreme. This battle concerned their fates. They didn't expect that one day, their fate would be in the hands of a young man. Under everyone's anxious gazes, the two rays of light kept retreating and then collided again. Heavens, Lin Xian's fist technique actually blocked the two starry sky swords. Countless people cried out in surprise when they saw this scene. In the sky, Xingyao's face became incomparably cold. His expression was even somewhat sinister. This scene was completely out of his expectations. In his opinion, he could easily kill his opponent with the two starry sky swords. But he didn't expect that. He didn't have the upper hand. That was because the terrifying fist technique used by his opponent was also incomparably terrifying and evenly matched with him. But he couldn't accept it. He was already a peak Saint Venerate. He was much stronger than his opponent. Furthermore, he had returned from the buried Emperor's Star. His strength was terrifying. Logically speaking, after he returned, he could sweep through everything. But now, he was blocked by someone. Could it be that this damned fellow had used some secret formula? Or could it be that he had secretly taken some kind of pill in advance? Just as his expression turned sinister, he suddenly sensed a change in the power ahead. It turned out that Lin Xian's fist had transformed into a ferocious tiger. On his left hand, there was an unparalleled sword aura flickering. That terrifying sword chi also let out a dragon's roar that resounded through the 9 heavens. He actually slashed over once again. Boom! It was as if a divine dragon had come back to life and landed heavily on the ground. When the starry sky swords collided, an apocalyptic shockwave swept out in all directions. Not good, retreat. The surrounding people frantically retreated. This energy was enough to threaten them. The Holy King was equally shocked. The sound of something shattering resounded between heaven and earth. The 2 gigantic swords shattered amidst the dragon's roar. Countless sword lights and laws flew in all directions. Xingyao snorted coldly and quickly dodged the attack with his starry sky map. At the same time, he looked in all directions, probably looking for another opportunity to attack. However, he did not find any trace of Lin Xian, which surprised him. What was going on? Could it be that Lin Xian had fallen in the impact of the laws just now? He was secretly delighted, but he did not quite believe it. Lin Xian's body was a divine body. He should not have fallen so easily. Sure enough, in the next moment, his pupils shrank. He felt that the void behind him was suddenly torn apart, and a fist blasted towards his head. Not good. He felt his hair stand on end. Behind him, a starry sky map quickly appeared, like a cage that shrouded the area behind him. He quickly turned around and swung his sword again. Boom! The one who appeared behind him was naturally Lin Xian. He used the void escape and dodged the attacks that filled the sky. He appeared behind Xingyao and then threw out another tiger demon fist. The black fist once again blasted on the starry sky map, producing an earth-shattering sound. The starry sky map kept shaking, as if it was trying to dissolve the power. However, the power was really too strong. No matter how mysterious the starry sky map was, cracks still appeared, and then it shattered with a loud bang. This only happened in an instant, but it was enough for an expert. For example, Xingyao had already obtained enough time. He turned around, and the stars in his eyes were extinguished. Kid, you actually dare to attack me? You really don't know what death is. His eyes burst out with biting, cold, killing intent, and then terrifying starlight shone out from his body. His power completely erupted, sweeping across all directions. At this moment, his body actually blossomed with a resplendent radiance, becoming incomparably mysterious. Was this the star body? He had actually cultivated it. In the distance, the 7-star Saint King of the 7-star Tower also exclaimed when he saw this scene. Obviously, Xingyao did not have such a body before he left. It seemed that he had obtained it from the buried Emperor's star. That's right, it was the star body. After displaying his super strong body, Xingyao regained his confidence. Kid, what do you have to contend with me now? The star body was an extremely terrifying body. It might not be comparable to the legendary super strong body, the 9 young divine body. However, Xingyao was a peak sacred venerate after all. His cultivation of the body far surpassed everything else. Therefore, he could use his cultivation to make up for the difference in the body. He was confident that no one could contend with him. Kid, everything can end now. Xingyao waved his fist and palm, continuously striking out. It was as if 10,000 stars had appeared. Every strike caused a black hole to appear in the sky. The surrounding experts of the older generation also felt their scalps go numb. In such a tense situation, no one would dare to compete with Xingyao in terms of body. Lin Xian was also surprised. Previously, he could tell that Xingyao was borrowing the power of the stars. What he cultivated was the law of stars, a super strong divine ability. However, such a person's body should not be too strong. Now, he discovered that he was wrong. Xingyao actually also possessed a super strong body. The power of his close combat was also incomparably strong. In the next moment, the 9 young divine body blossomed with light again. The flames on it burned fiercely, turning into 10,000 suns. Then, like a golden crow, it spread its wings and soared. The divine flames that filled the sky swept out in all directions, colliding with the vast starlight. Xing Yao's palm also struck out. Boom. Then, it collided with Xing Yao's star palm again. After that, the two of them attacked again. In an instant, over 10,000 attacks rumbled, and the void was torn apart like a canvas. The two of them fought from the sky to the ground. The surrounding people were all stunned. The expressions of the people of the mortal world became somewhat unsightly. Xing Yao had already unleashed his star body, yet he was still unable to do anything to Xing Yao? If this continued, the situation would not be good. Chapter 43:55. Kid, you've completely angered me. How could a mere ant be able to contend against the light of my stars? Go to hell. Xing Yao's eyes exploded with killing intent as he formed a seal with his palms. Then, an extremely terrifying radiance appeared. Above his palm, a star appeared. Along with the mirage of a world, it violently smashed forward. Boom! Lin Xian waved his palm to resist. However, at this moment, he was sent flying. He felt his arm go numb. It was as if this strike was really a world of stars that had landed on his body. It made him spit out a mouthful of blood. What's going on? Is Lin Xian injured? Is he going to lose? When the surrounding people saw this scene, they all exclaimed, "That's impossible. That's the 9 Yang divine body. How terrifying is that?" However, some people sighed. Although the divine body was powerful, it was still 2 realms weaker than the other party. To be able to last until now was enough to show how powerful the 9 Yang divine body was. However, the other party also had a powerful starry sky body. With the starlight of the myriad worlds, he could sweep through everything. Ants were indeed unable to withstand a single blow. Everyone in the human world smiled. It seemed that this battle could end. After killing the other party, they would leave this place and prepare for the next assassination plan. Although they couldn't kill all these people this time, the effect was not bad. At least these sage kings were all poisoned. First, it was the curse, then it was the supreme sage corpse poison. These people's strength had been greatly reduced, and they probably wouldn't be able to recover in a short period of time. As long as they planned carefully, they would be able to send all these people to hell next time. But soon, their smiles disappeared, because they saw Lin Xian, who was sent flying while vomiting blood, walk over again. The other party's face was calm and expressionless. This gave them a bad premonition. What's going on? Wasn't the other party already injured? Why was he still so calm? Could it be that the other party still had some trump card? Deliberately mystifying. When Xing Yao saw this scene, he snorted coldly. No matter what the other party used, he wasn't afraid. His strength had completely surpassed the other party. Not to mention Lin Xian. Even if these Sage City's geniuses attacked together, they would be able to contend against him. Because he came from the buried Emperor's star, it was enough to sweep through everything. But very quickly, he frowned because he felt a bone-chilling aura. A beam of sword aura appeared on Lin Xian's body and shrouded him. Then, the sword chi flew in all directions, forming a world of sword Tao. It floated on Lin Xian's body. And this danger came from the sword chi. What a terrifying sword chi. When the people from Yellow Spring saw this scene, their faces turned cold as well. Even the people from the 10,000 Swords Pavilion sucked in a breath of cold air. They were the holy land of Sword Tao, but at this moment, the opponent's sword seemed to be even stronger than theirs. Sacred King Divine Ghost looked at this scene with greed in his eyes. Wan Jianyi, on the other hand, had a look of fear on his face. However, they managed to cover it up very well. The people of the mortal world also frowned. Damn it, this brat still had a trump card. Furthermore, it was such a piercingly cold sword will. Their expressions became incomparably cold. It was no wonder that the other party was on their wanted list. Such a person was only at the middle stage of the Saint Venerable realm, but he was already so terrifying. If he was allowed to grow, perhaps in the future, even sacred kings would not be able to suppress him. Between heaven and earth, everyone felt fear because of this piercingly cold sword will. Lin Xian was indeed very calm. He felt that his body was full of power. The previous attack had indeed injured him and shocked him. But so what? The other party had a trump card, but his trump card was stronger. He slowly raised his palm, an endless sword chi condensed in his hand. A sword light shone through the 9 heavens and 10 earths, and then slashed forward. Not good. Xing Yao's pupil shrank. He felt a fatal danger, so he did not resist. His body turned into a ray of starlight and instantly disappeared into the sky. A crack appeared where he was originally standing. It spread into the distance. Lin Xian's gaze was very light, and his cold voice sounded. "It's useless. You can't escape. I'll let you see my sword world." As he spoke, the sword chi on his body burst out, completely enveloping the entire world. At this moment, it turned into a world of sword chi. Boundless sword chi swept in all directions. Wherever the void was, it kept shattering, and there was no way to dodge. As expected, Xing Yao found that the starry sky movement technique that he was so proud of seemed to have lost its effect at this moment. No matter where he hid, the sword chi could tear the void apart, and he could only passively defend. He shouted angrily, took a deep breath, and the starry sky map appeared again. And this time, it had an even more piercingly cold aura. The Xintian starry sky map. The terrifying starry sky map spread in all directions, forming a world of stars. It looked like it had turned into a universe, and it collided with the sword chi that filled the sky. Kill. With a roar, Xing Yao went all out and charged over aggressively. The two collided again, as if two worlds were fighting. The terrifying power caused the people outside to be unable to breathe. However, what was surprising was that in just an instant, cracks appeared on the Xintian starry sky map, and it spread to the surroundings. Crack. A crisp sound rang out, and the starry sky suddenly shattered into pieces, scattering all over the ground. The people around were stunned. Did the starry sky break through? That terrifying sword chi passed through the stars in the sky and slashed toward Xing Yao fiercely. Not good. The people in the human world narrowed their eyes. If they were hit by such a terrifying sword chi, not many people below the Saint King realm could resist. Xing Yao was probably in danger, unless he could use a special saint weapon. But previously, in order to prevent Lin Xian from using a Saint King weapon, they had already set the rules. They were not allowed to use weapons. They did not expect that they would shoot themselves in the foot now. Boom. An earth-shattering sound rang out, and then the world shattered. Blood dripped from the 9 heavens, piercing through the void. Everyone was shocked. He was injured. The faces of the people in the human world became extremely ugly. The Saint King's eyes pierced through the 9 heavens and 10 earths. Sure enough, they found that the one who was injured was Xing Yao. Even though Xing Yao used his starry sky body with all his strength, he still could not block it. Many sword marks appeared on his body, and his whole body flew into the distance like a kite with a broken string. Boom, boom. The terrifying roar lasted for a long time before it slowly dissipated. When the sword chi disappeared, the people saw Lin Xian standing there with his hands behind his back. Sword Dao world surrounded him, and he looked like a supreme sword god. On the opposite side, Xing Yao was bleeding, and his body was covered in wounds. At this moment, he was unusually embarrassed, and he no longer had the confidence from before. Chapter 43:56. Did he win? The people from the divine palace heaved a sigh of relief. The people from the holy city also clenched their fists. It seems that this time, the people from the human world can retreat. However, Xing Yao suddenly opened his eyes. His expression became incomparably malevolent. "Brat, I didn't expect you to have such sword intent. Although you injured me, you didn't kill me. I will let you know how powerful I am. Do you think that I spent all these years in the buried Emperor Star in vain? I will let you see my harvest in the buried Emperor Star. One move. I only need one move to deal with you." What? He still wants to fight? When the surrounding people heard this, they all sucked in a mouthful of cold air. They could already see that Xing Yao's astral body had been completely broken. He was definitely seriously injured and would not be able to recover in a short period of time. However, Xing Yao did not stop. He even said that he would kill Lin Xian in one move. The leader of the human world coldly snorted. Is he finally going to use that move? I didn't expect it to come to this. However, since Xing Yao was able to use that move, this brat can die in peace. Lin Xian frowned. Is he still going to attack? In the next moment, his pupil shrank. That was because he saw that Xing Yao had gathered all the power in his body and fused it between his eyebrows. Moreover, a crack appeared between his eyebrows. A ray of starlight flickered from within. That starlight was extremely resplendent and covered all the light. It seemed to have become the only thing in the world. Northern starlight slash. Along with the appearance of the starlight, an ice-cold voice rang out. Then, the northern starlight between his eyebrows flew out and turned into a peerless saber light that slashed forward. When this ray of starlight appeared, Xing Yao swayed and almost fell to the ground. It seemed that he had used up all his strength to use this move. The northern starlight flew out and slashed through the void, shattering the earth. It seemed to shake the 9 heavens and 10 earths. This power was really too terrifying. The expressions of the surrounding experts changed. A secret technique? It was too powerful. If they did not use a Holy King weapon, no one below the Holy King realm would be able to resist it. Their eyes were filled with despair because they felt that Lin Xian would not be able to resist it and would definitely die. Next, the human world would leave calmly. They only needed to reorganize a little, and these people would be able to come back again. At that time, would the poison in their bodies be cured? Haha, it's all over. You can go to hell for me. Xing Yao's face was pale, but he still had a sinister smile on his face. On the other side, Lin Xian's expression was also incomparably solemn when he felt this powerful aura. Final trump card? He was indeed powerful. It seemed that he had to use his trump card as well. Thinking of this, he took a deep breath, and the sword Dao world around him continued to evolve. Streaks of dragon-shaped sword chi flew out and gathered in his palm, forming the shadow of a dragon. 10 extremities dragon soul sword. The 10 extinction swords merged with the dragon soul and slashed forward. This kid's sword seemed to have become more powerful than before. When the surrounding people felt this scene, they all exclaimed in shock. The pupils of the people in the human world also shrank. That was impossible. However, they had no time to think. The two attacks collided once again, and holy light filled the sky. This was simply an apocalyptic scene. The eyes of those Saint Kings flickered. They were afraid that this would end after this attack. They wondered who would win in the end. Crack. Xing Yao originally had a sinister smile on his face. He felt that his opponent was dead for sure with his powerful attack. However, the scene in front of him made his face full of shock. The smile on his face suddenly froze. This was because he discovered that cracks had appeared on the northern star slash in front of him. Then, with a cracking sound, it directly split open. Impossible. His most powerful superpower was actually shattered? No. At this moment, his pride and confidence were all gone. It was as if glass had shattered on the ground. His eyes were filled with horror. He used the last bit of his remaining strength and quickly retreated. Facing Lin Xian, he was finally terrified. However, he could not escape at all. Between heaven and earth, the sharp sword Qi shrouded him, and the cracks on it became even more terrifying. He was torn apart. Boom. Roar. Sir, save me. In the sky full of sword Qi, a crazy roar was heard. The surrounding people were stunned. Had he lost? On the opposite side, the pupils of the people of the mortal world shrank when they saw this scene. They saw the northern star slash shatter. Not only that, even Xing Yao was torn apart. It seemed that his soul was also threatened. Humph. The Saint King leader snorted coldly with a sharp light in his eyes. He reached out a large hand and grabbed forward. It seemed that he wanted to attack. After all, they had painstakingly nurtured Xing Yao and spent a lot of resources. It was not easy for him to reach this stage. If he died, they would not be able to bear it. Oh no, have those Saint Slayers attacked? Seeing this scene, countless people exclaimed. No matter how strong Lin Xian was, he could not block the attack of a Saint King. At this moment, Xia Jiuyo let out a sound of heaven and earth and instantly broke apart the large palm. Lin Xian let out a piercingly cold radiance as he let out a roar. The dragon soul erupted, and a terrifying destructive sword intent slashed down. No! Xingyao let out a miserable cry. He wanted to escape, but in the end, his soul was destroyed. His entire body and soul were destroyed. Damn it! How dare you! The Saint Kings of the mortal world roared crazily. Did the other party really kill Xingyao? Damn it! Their hearts were bleeding. In an instant, many people exuded an extremely terrifying killing intent that pierced through the 9 heavens. In an instant, 6 Saint Kings attacked Lin Xian together. Do you have a death wish? I knew that you would not be satisfied. A mortal scholar snorted coldly, and the indestructible frost fan flew out and shot out a monstrous frost that swept over. On the other side, the people from the sacred grounds also attacked and intercepted. They all appeared in front of Lin Xian and blocked the terrifying divine ability. Little guy, go back first. Lin Xian nodded and returned to Xia Jiuyo's side. At the same time, a cold smile appeared on his face. In the mortal world, you are considered the top existences. As a Saint King, do you not keep your word? I have already won this battle. Hurry up and hand over the antidote to the Supreme Saint Corpse Poison. Humph, kid. How dare you kill the person we have painstakingly nurtured? You are dead meat. No one in the 9 heavens and 10 earths can save you. Let me tell you, there is no antidote to the Supreme Saint Corpse Poison. Wait for your death. At this point, they all laughed sinisterly. Attack. The 2 Saint King leaders roared and wanted to attack. Immortal Scholar snorted coldly. As expected, they were despicable and shameless people. In that case, he could not let them live. At this point, endless blue Dao runes appeared on his body, and an array formation appeared under his feet. It instantly spread out in all directions. In an instant, the world was frozen. Chapter 43:57. The expressions of the mortal realm's sage kings changed. This icy aura was the indestructible cold sky formation. Damn it! When did you lay it? They were simply too shocked. This was the legendary formation that sealed everything in ice. Even sage kings would find it hard to escape. However, this formation had a flaw. It required a very long time to prepare. Furthermore, once it was laid, it could not be kept for long. Hence, it could only be used in battle. However, in battle, the enemy would not give it a chance. Unexpectedly, the other party actually laid out the indestructible cold sky formation. Scholar, I really underestimated you. However, it will not be that easy for you to kill us. Just wait. The mortal realm will return to this world. Let's go. After speaking, the people of the mortal realm quickly retreated. You want to leave? Ice sealing the world. The indestructible cold sky formation erupted, and the entire world froze. The people of the mortal realm even formed ice, sealing the world in ice. This is great. The deity Dao Union's people all revealed smiles. However, at this moment, there was the sound of ice shattering. Suddenly, a lotus flower appeared on the people of the mortal realm. The black lotus flower directly bloomed and broke through the ice. Then, those lotus flowers withered. As for the people of the mortal realm, they had already vanished. What's going on? Did they leave? The deity Dao Union's people showed unsightly expressions. Damn it! Did the person behind the other party make a move? Lin Xian frowned. It was another black lotus flower. Right now, Xiao Chan was extremely certain that the mortal realm had a close connection with the black lotus flower. One day, Xiao Chan would personally destroy the mortal realm and find out who the master behind the black lotus flower was. Did they leave? Were we saved? Those Holy Land geniuses all released their bated breaths, feeling like they had just survived a calamity. Those sage kings also released their bated breaths. There was no helping it. Several sage kings had already fallen. Some were even severely injured. Indeed, that was the case. On the Azure Sea Pavilion side, the Azure Sea Sovereign's complexion also turned incredibly pale. The earlier battle had severely injured the Azure Sea Sovereign. Master, the Azure Sea Sovereign clenched his teeth. The situation was extremely bad. He probably had to enter closed-door cultivation immediately. Once that happened, their Azure Sea Palace would be leaderless. Not only them, but even the holy kings from the Joyous Union Hall and Seven-Star Pavilion would have to enter seclusion immediately. The people from the Kunlun Pavilion walked out and said, "I can help you get some more jade pool water, but I don't know if it will be effective." At this time, the Frost Scholar also walked out and said, "As long as the world of men doesn't get rid of the world will be destroyed." The second astral realm and even the myriad realms were in danger. Therefore, from now on, no holy city-level battles were allowed in the second astral realm. If any holy city wants to make a move, then don't blame us for being impolite. Just like that, a shocking battle came to an end. However, everyone's heart was very heavy. After all, as long as the world was not destroyed, they would be in danger. Furthermore, the human world was extremely mysterious. No one knew where their sect was located. Therefore, even if these people wanted to take revenge, they didn't know where to start. He could only wait for the other party. Next time, they would come knocking on his door. It seemed that the most important thing now was to get rid of the poison. You can go to the Jade Lake when the time comes. The Jade Lake holy water there is very mysterious. The people from the Deity Dao Union said a few words and then left. Some of these people were also wearing masks. It was obvious that they were hiding their identities. Even if they revealed their faces, it was probably because they had changed their appearances. These people were like guardian deities. Normally, they would not appear. Once there was danger, they would instantly make a move. Now that the world of men left, they had to be nervous again. Xia Juyo's complexion turned even paler. Clearly, using his strength earlier had drained him greatly. Lin Xian said, "Old Xia, quickly go and rest. There should be no danger here." Lin Xian felt that Xia Juyo's best option now was to enter the divine crystal and sleep. Xia Juyo said, "All right, be careful here." After saying that, Xia Juyo vanished as well. On the other side, the cycle protectors and the others left as well. Only the shattered ground and the cracked sky remained. Originally, the immemorial grotto held a grand event. However, now, it was filled with corpses and blood. Countless experts and geniuses died. Those from the world of men were mostly from the holy lands and holy cities. Every holy city was bleeding. Among them, the unparalleled sage ruler stared at the immemorial grotto and said coldly, "There is no such coincidence in the world. You all had best give us an explanation." Once he said that, many sage rulers stared at the immemorial grotto. The spirit sage ruler snorted coldly. "What? You all still suspect that I'm in cahoots with the world of men? Don't forget that we also suffered heavy losses. Even my grandson was killed. That's right. Don't slander me." The silver corpse sage ruler also walked out, emitting a cold aura. Unparalleled sage ruler and the others said, "Everyone knows whether it's true or not. I don't need to say more. Everyone, please be more careful in the future." The other sage rulers also gasped. It seemed that they had to stay away from the immemorial grotto and Acheron Palace in the future. "All right, let's go. Let's hurry to the Jade Pool. Use the holy water there to detoxify the poison." The Kunlun sage ruler stood up and said coldly. His face was also extremely pale. The other sage rulers nodded and left together. After all, who knew if the people of the world of men would come back again? Lin Xian and the others also left with them. For a moment, the surroundings were silent. However, there were still some people who did not leave. Among them, other than the immemorial grotto and Acheron Palace, there were also the 10,000 Swords Pavilion and the Great Desolate Mansion. At this moment, the people of the Great Desolate Mansion were incomparably gloomy. The void even broke open, and another figure walked out. It was also a sage ruler. However, he was obviously older. He said, "What's going on? Didn't you say there was no danger? How did my junior brother die?" This old man was actually the senior brother of the desolate heaven sage ruler. At this moment, his expression was extremely cold. The 10,000 Swords Pavilion's sage ruler divine ghost also frowned. They had also suffered heavy losses in this battle. However, the spirit sage ruler said, "Why are you so anxious? It's not like he really died." After saying that, he formed a hand seal and quickly transmitted his voice to the void. "All right, the people of the deity Dao Union have left. You can come out now." After a while, two figures appeared between heaven and earth. One was the mysterious woman, and the other was also a sage ruler. He wore a black robe that covered his face. At this moment, he gritted his teeth and said, "Damn it. I didn't expect that these people would escape even after such meticulous preparations. It's nothing. This time, they were heavily injured. Next time, we can take them down one by one." The corners of the spirit sage ruler's mouth curled up into a cold smile. Then, he said, "All right, let them out." Chapter 43:58. The black-robed Sage King nodded. With a flip of his hand, a blood-red flag appeared in the sky. The flag fluttered, and an endless sea of blood appeared. Figures appeared one after another. They were all enveloped by the sea of blood. At this moment, they all had pained expressions. Among them, there were a few terrifying figures. They were the souls of the Sage Kings. There was also one who cried out, "Grandpa, save me." He was Shi Yunhu. At this moment, the black-robed Sage King waved his hand, and Shi Yunhu's soul was released. At the same time, another person's soul was released. The desolate heaven Saint King roared as soon as he appeared. His shattered body quickly healed. Then, he appeared again. However, his aura was clearly much weaker than before. Damn it! Was there a need to act so seriously? Sage King Huang Tian's expression was cold. This time, he was severely injured. He would need a long time to recover. Sage King Yinling said, "Fellow Taoist, you've suffered. However, if you didn't do this, how would we believe you?" Even so, he was still suspicious. Shi Yunhu was also released. He gritted his teeth and said, "Grandpa, you must kill that Lin Xian. I want to tear him into pieces." "Don't worry. There will be plenty of chances." Sage King Yinling's eyes shone with a cold light. "Damn it. Let us out." Countless roars could be heard. Two of them were extremely terrifying. These were the souls of two Sage Kings. They were sealed in the sea of blood. One of them was the Thunder Sage King, and the other was the giant Spirit Sage King from the Spirit Gathering Pavilion. The two of them were infuriated. The black-robed Sage King laughed. "You want to come out? Impossible. Just stay in there obediently. Don't worry. We'll refine you into puppets. We won't waste your energy." "Damn it!" the giant Spirit Sage King roared. The Thunder Sage King said, "Thunder Sage City and Wushuang City have a grudge. Let me out and we'll work together. How about that?" Hearing this, the Silver Corpse Sage King laughed coldly. "Of course, I know that you have a grudge too. However, since you're already in such a state, then be obedient and be used by me. I'll refine you into a puppet and we can work together." "Damn it. I'll fight you to the death." Thunder God Saint King roared. However, he was restrained by a mysterious force and was unable to escape. The black-clothed Saint King said, "Don't waste your energy. This saint weapon is beyond your imagination. You won't be able to escape." With that, he flipped his hand, and the blood-red flag disappeared into the sky. The sea of blood and the souls disappeared as well. On the other side, the injured Saint Kings had all arrived at the Jade Lake Sacred Ground. The Jade Lake Sacred Leader personally received them and opened the Jade Lake for them to enter. Given the current situation, they had to work together because the world of mortals didn't just affect the holy city in the second astral realm. Even the sacred grounds of the true spirit world were affected. Therefore, they had to work together to resist the human world. This had happened before. This would happen once every tens of thousands of years. Even more than 100,000 years ago, there were once top-notch holy lands that joined forces to fight against the human world. That time, the human world suffered a heavy blow and went into hibernation for nearly 100,000 years. This time, there would probably be another earth-shaking battle. The sacred lords entered one after another. They were extremely grateful. At this moment, all of these holy masters were seated within the Nacre Lake, forming hand seals with their palms as they used the Nacre Lake to fight against the great sage corpse poison within their bodies. However, they still had curses that needed to be suppressed. It could be said that they were extremely weak. On the peerless Saint King's side, the law of Devour was constantly floating behind him. Lin Xian walked over and asked, "Senior brother, how is it?" The peerless Saint King asked. It was effective, but the effect was very slow. It would be troublesome for him to recover completely in a short period of time. Lin Xian took a deep breath and said, "Senior brother, let me remove the curse for you first." After he finished speaking, he sat down cross-legged and unleashed the great dragon sword soul. His energy surged into the great dragon sword. The curse in his body had been completely removed. Moreover, he had helped the Green Mountain Sacred King to remove the curse before, so he was very familiar with it. The energy of the great dragon sword soul entered the peerless Saint King's body and began to remove the curse. This scene was naturally seen by the others as well. In an instant, there was a lot of discussion. No way, Lin Xian was going to remove the poison from the peerless Saint King's body? How could a middle saint venerable like him help a Saint King? The young geniuses didn't believe it, but they didn't leave quietly. 5 days later, the peerless Saint King suddenly opened his eyes and roared into the sky. The devouring vortex behind him had become even more terrifying. It was obvious that the curse had been removed. Next was the Supreme Saint Corpse Poison. Seeing this scene, the surrounding people were shocked. Was it really effective? They were too surprised. What did Lin Xian have in his hands? It was so magical. This news spread, and for a moment, the sacred cities were also shocked. Soon, the Huhuan Palace's BUS Saint King had an idea. She asked Qin Xianer to personally invite Lin Xian. Qin Xianer came and explained her intentions. Lin Xian smiled and said, "Of course." He followed Qin Xianer and walked in the Nacre Lake to where the BUS Saint King was. The BUS Saint King looked at Lin Xian and said, "Lin Gongzi, if you can help me remove the curse, the Huhuan Palace and I will be eternally grateful. I will also give Lin Gongzi a big gift." The BUS Saint King was being courteous. Lin Xian didn't dare to be arrogant in front of a Saint King. Even if a Saint King was severely injured, it was still extremely terrifying. So he nodded and said, "Next, I will let the sword chi enter your body. I hope you won't resist." The BUS Saint King nodded. If it was someone else, the BUS Saint King wouldn't dare to do it at all. This was because it was too dangerous. If the other party attacked, he would probably be injured even more severely. However, if it was Lin Xian, he wasn't worried. Lin Xian's palms slowly formed a seal. The power of the great dragon sword soul appeared again and entered the BUS Saint King's body to help him remove the curse. To be honest, Lin Xian was very happy to help these Saint Kings remove the curse. After all, these Saint Kings would definitely fight against the world in the future. With one more Saint King, their side would become stronger. Moreover, these Saint Kings would definitely be grateful for his help this time. They might even give him a big gift. A gift from a Saint King would definitely bring him unexpected benefits. The power of the great dragon sword soul exploded and quickly destroyed the curse. 7 days later, the BUS Saint King opened his eyes. The curse was really removed. Her aura had recovered a little. "Master." The geniuses of the Joyous Union Palace also gathered around, their faces filled with excitement. "Lin Gongzi, thank you. We can't thank you enough." These people thanked him one after another. Qin Xianer's eyes shone brightly. "Lin Gongzi, it's hard to repay your kindness. No matter what request you have, we will agree to it." The surrounding Saint Kings were still hesitating. They didn't believe that a young man could help them. But when they saw the situation at the Joyous Union Palace, they all took a deep breath and a look of shock appeared in their eyes. Chapter 43:59. This Lin Xian could really help them get rid of the curse. Their eyes turned red at the thought of this. "Hurry up and invite Lin Gongzi over." These sage kings sent people over and prepared to present gifts. Soon, the youths of the various sacred grounds also came to invite Lin Xian. Lin Xian said, "No rush, I'll do it one by one." Indeed, it would consume a lot of energy for him to do so. But luckily, these sacred cities would provide him with sufficient resources and treasures. Lin Xian didn't have to worry about the problem of energy consumption. Of course, not every sacred cities came. At least, those sacred cities that were against Wushuang City didn't come. However, Thunder God City did come because they had no leader now. Their sage king was killed, so they could only follow. Seeing Lin Xian helping more and more sage kings, they felt their scalps go numb. If Lin Xian wanted to take action against them now, no one would be able to resist him. My Thunder God City still has a sage king that has been sleeping. Seems like it's time to wake him up. Those elders took a deep breath and prepared to use their strongest trump cards. Otherwise, with the threat of the secular world present, their Thunder God City would definitely be destroyed. On the other side, the 1,000 monstrous cities Golden Crow clan had left. Demon City didn't come to Jade Lake's sacred ground at all, which made everyone puzzled. "Master, don't you need to cure the poison?" Nine-headed Qilin was shocked. He could clearly feel that Soaring Sky Sage King was indeed injured and poisoned. But why didn't he go to Jade Lake? Could it be because of Wushuang City? The others also frowned. He said that we should work together to deal with the human world. I don't think Wushuang City will make things difficult for us. However, Soaring Sky Sage King snorted coldly. "You don't have to care about this. I have my ways." Soaring Sky Sage King's face was cold. He said to those behind him, "Go to Demon King Palace now. I still have some things to do." After saying that, he tore open the void and disappeared. He actually returned to the primordial grotto. The Saint Kings from the ancient grotto frowned. "Who was it? Come out." The Silver Corpse Saint King shattered the void. In the next moment, he was stunned. "It's you." "That's right, it's me." Soaring Sky Saint Monarch walked out of the broken space and said, "I know your connection with the mortal world, so there's no need to hide it from me. I'm here for the antidote. Give me the antidote and I'll join you. Have you thought it through? Once you join, not only will your entire Myriad Demon City join as well, to be of use to me. I naturally understand this." Soaring Sky Saint King nodded, a cold light flashing in his eyes. He had his own reasons for doing so, because he felt that the human world would eventually emerge victorious in this battle. Therefore, he had come here in advance. When the time came, he would be able to obtain many benefits. "Very good, welcome." Holy King Yinling and Holy King Silver Corpse smiled. 3 months later, the Saint Kings of the Jade Lake sacred ground all let out roars that shook the heavens and earth. Their curses had already disappeared, and the remaining Great Saint Corpse poison could be removed with the Jade Lake sacred water. It was only a matter of time. On this day, many Saint Kings stood up and walked towards a palace in the distance. There was a young figure sitting cross-legged there. It was Lin Xian. "Lin Gongzi, thank you for your help. We will remember this favor in our hearts. If you need anything in the future, Lin Gongzi, feel free to ask." The ones who spoke were Saint Kings. If others saw this, they would definitely be shocked. Because Lin Xian was only a mid-stage Saint Venerable, these Saint Kings treated him so well. They didn't even treat Lin Xian as a junior. Of course, this was because Lin Xian had sufficient talent and strength. Lin Xian also stood up. The Saint Kings were too courteous. "In the future, when I appear in the human world, I will still need your help." Lin Xian was a deity palace master. In addition, he was the junior brother of Peerless Saint King. Therefore, his status was not inferior to the Saint Kings. After hearing this, the Saint Kings nodded. "No problem. The human world was too hateful. As long as there is a chance, we will definitely join hands. Indeed, if the human world continues to exist, it will be a fatal threat to every Saint City." The Saint Kings took out their storage rings and gave them to Lin Xian. There were many treasures inside. Next, Peerless Saint King also walked over. He called the other Saint Kings over and prepared to discuss the next step. The Saint Kings also said, since the human world has made a move this time, they will definitely not let this matter rest. Moreover, I guess that they are related to those people in the primordial grotto. Therefore, we will have to do our best to eliminate the remaining ones." The other Saint Kings also nodded. Peerless Saint King said, "Fortunately, there is only half a year left. At that time, we can let these disciples go to the buried Emperor Star. They can also avoid being targeted by the human world. Indeed, once they go to the buried Emperor Star, there should be no danger, right?" Everyone discussed spiritedly. In the end, they decided that it would be better to rest and recuperate during this period of time. Firstly, they could preserve their strength. Secondly, they could avoid unnecessary trouble. Therefore, the Saint Kings continued to detoxify while the young genius disciples went into seclusion. They were waiting for the final opportunity. Peerless Saint King found Lin Xian and said, "Junior brother, if you don't want to go into seclusion, you can go to the nothingness to take a look." "The nothingness? What is that?" Lin Xian was surprised. Peerless Saint King said that it is an eternal land. It is very strange, and it is in the true spirit world. After Lin Xian heard this, he was also very surprised. He was prepared to go and explore it. After all, this place should have many benefits. Indeed, Peerless Saint King said that the nothingness is a very mysterious place. It is called the Eternal Land because the time there is fixed. Fixed, what does that mean? Lin Xian was surprised. Peerless Saint King said that there is only a period of time in the nothingness. There you have neither past nor future, only eternity. Eternity? What is that? Peerless Saint King said, "I don't know the details. I only know that there is a battle recorded in that place. A battle that happened 100,000 years ago. That battle was recorded in the nothingness. Once you enter the nothingness, you will be able to see this battle. This is a shocking battle, and it will be very helpful to you. Countless geniuses want to see it, but whether or not you can see it depends on your ability." After Lin Xian heard this, he took a deep breath. Is there such a magical place? Then, he really has to go and take a look. At this time, two other figures also came over to prepare to go with him. They were Guan Songhai and Qin Xianer. Guan Songhai should be because the vast Sea Saint King was heavily injured. He felt great pressure, so he urgently wanted to increase his strength. Chapter 4360. As for Qin Xianer, it was obvious that she was sent by Luiyue Sage King to repay her kindness. Lin Xian did not have any objections to this. After all, they were friends. As for Shun Jingqiu and Morong Qingqing, they chose to stay behind and cultivate in seclusion. After obtaining the map, Lin Xian and the other two were ready to set off. They rode on a gigantic flying sword and quickly disappeared from the world. Not long after they disappeared, a few more figures appeared at the temple. "Someone come quickly, this emperor is back." The Crimson Dragon's voice rang out. The people at the temple were shocked. "It's you." Peacock and the rest were stunned when they realized who it was. That's right. It was the Crimson Dragon, Toad, Little White, Black Mountain, and the North Demon. Is that kid back yet? I've heard about him everywhere. It's Lord Dragon God. Peacock and the rest knew about the Crimson Dragon. They knew that he was Lin Xian's friend, so they were extremely respectful. Peacock told them about what happened previously. After listening, the Crimson Dragon gritted his teeth. Damn, those people in the human world actually made a move. Moreover, they almost killed so many Sage Kings. How despicable. The North Demon and Black Mountain were equally shocked. Black Mountain's eyes flickered. Finally, they couldn't help but make a move. Where's that kid? They asked and found out that he was at Yaoqi. They then flew over. When they arrived at Yaoqi, they realized that Lin Xian and the rest had already left. They actually went to the Void Land? The Crimson Dragon's eyes flickered. Toad asked, "Should we go too?" "I'm very curious about that place." The Crimson Dragon said, "Let's go to a few other places. There are also good things there." Little White Monkey also blinked his eyes. The three of them started to discuss again. On the other side, Black Mountain said, "Disciple, you go take a look. I'm also going to take a look at this legendary true spirit world." Black Mountain left alone. The North Demon took a deep breath and moved quickly. He also had some people to meet. After all, this was his hometown. Lin Xian and the others did not know that the Crimson Dragon and the others had returned. At this moment, they had arrived at their destination. There was a mysterious aura up ahead. The Voidland was located in the northern plains. It was extremely desolate. Moreover, there weren't any living creatures here, so ordinary people wouldn't dare to approach. But now, there were quite a number of people. Clearly, they were here to enter the Voidland. When Lin Xian and the others arrived at this place, they felt a mysterious aura and the surrounding figures, which made them frown. It seemed that this place was mysterious and dangerous. Furthermore, there was also intense competition. Let's go and see what mysteries this place has. They quickly flew over. At the same time, the expressions of the people around them changed. Many people instantly dodged. What was going on? Why was he hiding from those three people? Were they very powerful? Some people did not know. However, one of the elders frowned. You don't know? That person is Lin Xian. He's extremely terrifying. What? He's Lin Xian? The legendary Lin Wudi, the central emperor of the past? It was said that he had recently undergone a great battle. He had killed many geniuses and experts. I didn't expect him to come here too. Yes, I heard that there are other experts here. Even those rising geniuses, such as Han Chong and the others, are here too. I really don't know how those mysterious geniuses compare to Lin Wudi. In the end, who was more tyrannical? Ahead, the Voidland. For the time being, no one dared to enter. However, there were quite a number of people standing on the surrounding mountains. Every mountain peak represented a power. It seemed like these people were all waiting for the right moment. Those who could come here were all terrifying experts and powerful geniuses. However, these people were not the most dazzling at this moment. The most dazzling person was on top of a tall mountain. It was a man. He stood there with his hands behind his back. His body was surrounded by a terrifying halo. He was like a god that filled the sky, extremely dazzling. Countless people looked at this figure with respect in their eyes. This person was very powerful. He had been a genius since he was young. Now, he had grown to the late stage of the Saint Venerable realm. He was not far from the Saint King realm. He was the genius of the Wavering Light Sacred Land, the Wavering Light Saint. Although geniuses from outside the domain had arrived and mysterious geniuses had risen, it still could not hide the Wavering Light Saint's brilliance. After so many years, logically speaking, he should have been able to take over the entire Wavering Light Sacred Land. However, he did not do so. He chose a person who had recovered from the divine crystal and became the sacred lord again. He was still the saint, but he was probably the one who had the final say in the entire sacred land. At this moment, the Wavering Light Saint's eyes flickered as he looked into the distance. His gaze was very calm, but it was extremely deep. No one knew what he was thinking. This guy was becoming more and more unfathomable. There were also other figures on the surrounding mountains. For example, there was a figure that was abnormally hazy. It was Gu Feng. Naturally, he had also come. When he saw the Wavering Light Saint, he also frowned. The Wavering Light Saint also gave him a sense of danger. He didn't expect there to be such a peerless genius in the spiritual world. Next to Gu Feng stood Wan Jiani and the others. At this moment, Wan Jiani was also looking at the Wavering Light Saint in surprise. He had always thought that his peerless enemy was Lin Xian, or this Gu Feng in front of him. He didn't care about the others. He was even confident that he could fight against those who had risen up. However, at this moment, when he saw the Wavering Light Saint, he felt a chill down his spine. Under the other party's calm gaze, there was an extremely terrifying power. Wan Jiani really didn't expect there to be such a terrifying person. Such a person actually didn't walk the path of the stars? At this moment, a figure from the Gu family appeared on the mountain peak and said respectfully to Gu Feng, "Young master, that Lin Xian is here." Hearing this, Gu Feng raised his eyebrows and asked how many people he had brought. He should have brought a lot of experts from the Divine Palace. However, that person said that the other party had only brought 2 people. They were Guan Songhai from the Deep Sea Palace and Qin Xiener from the Joyous Union Palace. Hearing this, Gu Feng was surprised. Only 2 young geniuses? This kid was really bold. A biting cold light erupted from Wang Jian's eyes. He said that now was a good opportunity to kill him. He had countless secrets on him. If he could kill him, then all the treasures on him would be his. Kill him? There was no hurry. Gu Feng narrowed his eyes. Let's talk about it after we investigate the situation. Wang Jini said, don't worry. If you suspect that there is someone behind you, I will help you. A biting cold light appeared in his eyes. During this period of time, Gu Feng had indeed brought him to the All Beginnings Holy Land. In the past few months, he had cultivated the All Beginnings Holy Land's cultivation technique and cultivated the aura of primal chaos. This made his sword of primal chaos even more terrifying. Therefore, he urgently wanted to fight Lin Xian. Chapter 4361. What Wang Jini didn't know was that during this period of time, Lin Xian had been using the Great Dragon Sword Soul to detoxify these Sage Kings. And out of gratitude, these Sage Kings each gave a large number of heavenly treasures. There were even some insights and experiences of the Sage Kings. Lin Xian's gains during this period of time were also extremely terrifying. His trump cards had become even more abundant. Even the great Dao insights that the Sage Kings personally imparted were incomparable to others. Of course, these things only happened in the Jade Pool, and others had no way of knowing. At this moment, 3 streams of light flew over from the void. Then, a vast amount of energy swept out in all directions. Countless people raised their heads to look at the sky, and then exclaimed one after another. They saw 3 figures appear in the sky. Someone said that they were the geniuses of the holy city. No, the person in the middle was Lin Xian, the central emperor of the past. As expected, such a peerless genius had also come. Everyone gasped. Some people exclaimed, some were envious, and some had cold killing intent in their eyes. In the sky, Lin Xian and the other 2 arrived and looked around. He also saw some familiar figures. He didn't expect that this void land would attract so many experts. Let's find a place first. Lin Xian looked at a mountain peak in front of him. That place was very close to the void land. So he waved his hand and led the 3 of them to quickly fly forward. In an instant, they landed on that mountain peak. However, at this moment, a cold laugh was heard. Get lost. This place is ours. The voice was cold and merciless as it spread in all directions. The surrounding people were all stunned. Who dared to provoke these 3 geniuses at this time? Behind the 3 of them stood 3 colossi. Lin Xian frowned, and the faces of Qing Xian and Guan Songhai also darkened. They turned their heads to look. In front of them, the void split open, and some people walked out. Walking at the front was a very handsome man. He was wearing a Taoist robe, and his eyes were sharp. His body carried an extremely strong spatial power. We, the ancient race, have taken a fancy to this place, so the 3 of you, get lost. Ancient race? People from the Emperor clan? Many people were stunned when they heard this. Originally, they had thought that it was someone who didn't know the difference between life and death. But now, it would seem that wasn't the case. The ancient race was a great Emperor clan. Their foundation and strength were terrifying. Moreover, the other party cultivated spatial divine abilities. What a terrifying clan this was. Now that they had come out, they wanted to forcibly occupy this mountain peak. No matter how strong Lin Xian and the other 2 were, they wouldn't be able to withstand it. You dare to reprimand us? Are you tired of living? At this moment, Guan Songhai spoke coldly. There was an extremely cold glint in his eyes. Who dared to block their path? Acting recklessly, the people at the front started laughing as well. You dare to challenge our ancient race? I think you're the one who doesn't know the difference between life and death. Scram, or I'll send all of you to hell. After saying that, these people exuded an extremely terrifying space law, covering a part of the world. This caused everyone's hair to stand on end. It was too terrifying. Every single one of them was an expert of the space attribute. With so many of them attacking at the same time, no one would be able to withstand it. In fact, he would be banished to the void without even having to fight. Was this spatial divine ability again? Guan Songhai frowned. He wasn't unfamiliar with this because Gu Feng was famous in the second astral realm back then. It was just that he didn't expect Gu Feng's family to be even more terrifying than he had imagined. Every single person here would be an extremely top genius in the second astral realm. But so what? He wasn't a weakling either. Therefore, he said, I've long wanted to see just how powerful the Emperor clan is. Today, I'll take the lead and smile. Guan Songhai snorted coldly as the water law on his body continued to erupt. A terrifying wave swept out in all directions, turning the surrounding sky into a sea. The faces of the surrounding people changed. It couldn't be, right? Was this guy really going to attack the ancient race? There was a boom. A wave palm flew out like a sea dragon surging between the heavens and the earth. Acting recklessly, the man from the Gu family on the other side snorted coldly as well. With a wave of his hand, a huge crack tore open as he charged towards the wave. The two instantly engaged in a huge battle. Terrifying laws swept through the 9 heavens. Between heaven and earth, the terrifying water law spread out. The terrifying space law was vast and mighty. For a moment, the two were evenly matched. All right. At this moment, a voice sounded. Kid, if you brought the people from the temple, you could still fight with me. But now, with just the 3 of you, you're a little pitifully weak. Hearing this, Guan Songhai stopped and turned his head to look. Lin Xian and Gu Feng turned their heads as well. So it's you. Lin Xian's eyes bloomed with a piercing cold light. The other party was none other than Gu Feng. Gu family, how impressive. However, I'm afraid you can't stop me. Unless all the experts of the Gu family come out. Lin Xian's eyes burst with an extremely cold light. He indeed had such confidence. The Gu family's space law was terrifying and unpredictable. However, he had the great dragon sword soul and could cut through the void. Therefore, he wasn't afraid at all. Is that so? So confident? You want to add my 10,000 swords pavilion? Another voice was heard. Immediately after, Wan Jinni walked over with the 10,000 swords pavilion. Sword chi overflowed from their bodies and rarely reached the 9 heavens, making everyone's scalp tingle. Such a terrifying sword Dao expert joined hands with the Gu family. It seemed that even if Lin Xian had the temple behind him, he was still in danger. Qin Xiener and Guan Songhai frowned. This time, only the 3 of them came, but they didn't expect to meet so many people. Moreover, these people seemed to have brought enough experts. They were afraid that they were really in danger. Lin Xian, on the other hand, laughed. Who was I then? So it was you. What right do you have to be arrogant in front of me? You weren't my opponent before, and I'm afraid you still aren't. Feeling Lin Xian's mocking smile, Wan Jinni's pupils shrank and his face became abnormally ferocious. Kid, I've lost to you before, but so what? I'm no longer the same as I was back then. Do you really think that I can't beat you now? He took a step forward and a terrifying sword chi instantly burst out. A huge crack appeared between heaven and earth, as if the entire world was split open. Kid, if you want to be enemies with us now, I'm afraid the 3 of you will be exiled in an instant. Therefore, I advise you to be sensible. Gu Feng sneered as if victory was in his hands. Do you really think that you can defeat me with just the few of you? Lin Xian also laughed. Tell me, what do you want? I think you don't dare to start a war with me easily. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.